Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing? How's it going there, Amanda? What's happening? What's happening? Right, so let's start working on some builds here. Let's take a look at where I left off with the frog from yesterday. We'll take a look at that. I keep forgetting to open the doors and fix some of the settings on my custom world here. Let's do that. Alright, what do we want to fix here? All that's good, okay. Alright, good. Do this too. Alright, now we can save it. Alright, let's go take a look at the frog. See where we're at. I changed the a little bit of the angle in the back of it here a little bit. I like that better. Trying to see. I might do this. Let's try this for a second here. See if I prefer this. Might do this. Yeah, I like that better. I like that better. So we'll do that. Okay. Of course, symmetry wasn't on. Why would symmetry be on when you need it on? The consistent issues of symmetry. Nope, I went too far on that one. That goes to there. There we go. Nice. Alright, so I like that a little bit better. Save that. Take it for a quick run, make sure everything is functioning the way I need it. Let's look inside. There are 5 regular seats. I could, let's see, 1, 2, that'd be 4. So if I turn these seats, I can get more capacity in here. I don't really need more capacity, but it is good to have. So, trying to think, put them on the walls. I might do that. Let's see. Let's cut this out for now, and we'll see what I want. So let's go. Yeah, let's do that. Battery's got to move, but that's not the biggest thing in the world. Doesn't have to even move, it just needs to go up on its side. Like that. Alright, let's get, I think what that would be now. Do that, and then here and here can cut. And then this will go. That's actually going to be covered, isn't it? So that can be like that. No, that one definitely needs to be here like that. Okay, just a light in there a little bit, and then we'll put in, what do I have out there? Porch. Let's go, we can go corner piece there like this, okay. That will work. Symmetry, the bane of my existence. Okay. And for now, we'll do this. If I want to change it later, we can. That's upside down. Alright, that's better. Alright, good. That's better, I think. Give me a little bit more space. Might put a ladder to get out of here, or the ability to jump up here. So let's do that. Let's move this. Let's do that. See if I can easily get in and out. Okay, how did I pick that color when I grabbed this color? Alright, see how that is to get in and out of, because it's a little bit tough to get out of. So now I can jump here. There we go, perfect. Nice. And then seats on the sides here. That'll work. That will work. Alright, good. So that's better. Alright, nice. I think that is pretty good. Let's see if there's anything else I need to do here. Is this anything here? I don't believe so. What's this? Okay, that's micro there. All right. Let's read some of his chat. Yeah, it's probably gonna be an announcement tomorrow, I'd say. Seeing we got a part last week. Hello, big man. How are you? Good to see you. I liked your boat there. For the challenge. Oh, excellent. Thank you there, Amanda. Let's see. Go take it for a little drive, see how it works. I should have all the cheats off. Good. Yep. Good. See if it needs anything else before it can be put into service. Big man, was it your challenge, the one, the lighthouse keeper? Trying to remember. I remember who had the lighthouse keeper challenge that I made. I forget the name of the vehicle. I was trying to see why this is. Alright, so probably need to fix the fins for yaw. We'll see what's up with that. Let's see if it's an electrical problem. Yeah, it's an electrical problem. You can tell it's an electrical problem. Turn infinite electricity, it starts to fix itself, so we'll fix that. We'll fix the lean issue. Yeah, it's getting worse and worse and worse, which means probably inverted. So let's look at it. Let's look. Where's the stability system? Right here. Okay. So what is up with this? All right, here's water sensor. So if the water sensor is greater than 0, should be flipping them all to the on position, and then we have the constant on needs to change to the key, which can go here. Okay. Why is this not behaving itself? So let's see. We should have stern fin port. Oh, because I got rid of the ads. That's why. Okay. That would be why. Let's see. Okay, that would do it. Let's see. There's bow fins. This should be stern fins. Where's the tilt function? Okay, I need to put it in. That's why we're having issues. I gotcha. Okay, let's see. So there's bow fins are there. Bow fins are based off pitch tilt, which is 15. So we're looking for 16. Okay, here's 16 right here. Get rid of that. All right, so we need a PID here. All right, so that will be 0. That will go there. Be x plus y, or we'll do z. Z, okay. X plus z. And then this one here will be X minus Z. All right. Let's run that. Try not to run over the dog on the way out. Fuck, what happened to steering on that one? Let's see, something happened on steer. Oh, I didn't plug in the key, that's why. So the key never activated. Where is it? Right there. Okay. That'll do it. Pretty fast for a little car, too. Does pretty well. Oh, bye, bitch. Let's report each of his comments, too. Here we go. Bye. And you got about 6 reports there for being a harassing piece of shit, so YouTube can look at that later. Eventually, one day, they'll make the internet, make people responsible as they are in real life for their actions. Well, listen, a little crooked. Probably maybe increase the p-value a little on that. It's coming up as we speed up, so it's definitely, it probably needs a p-value change. Operating pretty nicely. We got 25 knots there. So I'm content with 25 knots. Again, the job of this is pretty much to go from Tethys and go to the shore, you know, to be able to drop people off, so I don't have to actually get like 2 inches from the shore and try to crane it on, because you figure if the weather's bad, there's no way I can get close to the shore to put a land vehicle on. So yeah, it definitely needs some added strength on the stern fins to level this out. See, it's slowly doing it. See how it's slowly straightening us out? So likely that means too low of a p-value. Excellent. Yeah, that's what a lot of these people don't understand. It's like, you know, you think about like the worst offenders, like the people who swat other, you know, swat people, you know, and send the police to the house, and people get the dog shot, and you know, people could be easily shot, and it's, you know, stuff like that, and they think there's no consequence. It was like when the pressurization update dropped there, and people were, they were sending death threats to the devs. And then it's funny to me is like, that's the state of what people will do. It's quite common people do silly shit like that, or not even silly shit like that, criminal shit like that. And then you had a bunch of people who were like, oh, that's probably lies. The devs are probably lying. It's like, dude, you see it every day. You see people getting swatted. You see death threats for, people doing the most mundane stuff because people on the internet think it's the Wild West. They can do whatever they want, And so that's why I think it's funny, like, when people were like, oh, I doubt the devs are getting death threats. It's like, dude, have you seen, like, what people do in all this, in any of these online forums? It's like, it's constant. Because they think there's no consequence. It's funny, there was, there's some people who, like, they were bitching and complaining about the devs deleting their, or banning them from Discord. Or booting their comments from Steam. And it's, and kind of the analogy I talked about is, let's say you had a business. Even if the customer was right, and your business sucked, there's no right you have to stand in their lobby and rant. Like, they can tell you to leave. And they could, they tell you, get out of my lobby, leave. Now, they can't tell you to not go on Yelp and leave a bad review or something, but they can tell you to leave. And so then people think that somehow they have a special right on an internet forum to go, bitch. It's like, no, if it's owned by the company, they have every right, and it's completely reasonable to say, no, you can rant all you want, but you can't do it in my lobby. And that's what happens when you get banned from, like, the official Discord, or you get banned from the Steam forums. You have no right to stand in their lobby, and it's a private residence, essentially. It's a private business, lobby, and rant. You have no right to that. They can kick you out at any time. Like, you want to go on Reddit, like, again, Reddit's is a private forum anyway as well, but it's not owned by the companies. So that's why, like, you'll see a lot of these people who've been booted go to Reddit to bitch, because they've already been booted, and then they think it's some sort of First Amendment thing that they got booted from, the lobby. It's like, no, it's the same thing as a business telling you, no, you can't come in my lobby and yell and rant at the customers. You gotta go, and it's perfectly reasonable, and it's like, you get somebody who's a pain in the ass in the chat. It's better to boot them and let everyone else have a good time than it become a toxic environment where, like, the people who enjoy chat are now feel like, oh, I don't want to be here because it's just it's a dumpster fire, So, rant over. But this thing is working really well. 88 miles an hour, like, it's super stable. 75 is probably a little high on steering, but it's like, it's not ultra twitchy. Like the big man car, I made a little bit extra twitchy because of, it was a race car, so it needed to be able to change direction quickly. But this one is operating really well. A little bit, maybe a hair too twitchy. Like, I could cut the sensitivity down in the seat, or I could just drop the p-value by maybe like 0.5. Or 0.05, rather. 0.5 would be huge. 0.05. Well, you can see this drives really well. We've been going 88 the entire time. No tire squeal. Again, that's mainly gearing. I was talking to my brother about it last night, and it's, like I said before, it's likely the reason why a lot of people get tire squeal is they do not have the right gear ratio in. And if you don't have the correct gear ratio, normally in real life, when you go too high of a gear, your car will lug and stall. And I think that the devs probably made it so that they figured, you know what, people are going to be frustrated if they're trying to build a car and they don't get the gear ratios correct. So what's going to happen is they're going to be stalling all the time, and they're not going to be able to play the game. So you know what we'll do? We'll make it so that the tires break traction either if you're under-torqued or over-torqued. And that's exactly what happens in game. You go in too high of a gear, instead of stalling your car out instantly like it would, it spins the tires up to give it some flexibility, and if you put the right gear ratios in, you notice you never spin it. So it's like when people talk about that as though it's a negative thing, it's like it's something you can fix with your design. So somebody was asking the other day what the landmarks option is. I think I have landmarks deselected on this custom. Notice that right here, nope, never mind, it is there, okay. I thought this was one of the landmarks, but it's just hidden me on the hill here. It's this thing here. I thought that was gone, but we just hadn't gotten to it yet. So like that was hitting a jump at 88, no problems. I see, yeah. Yeah, I haven't deselected, but there's some, like, I wonder if that's the Arecibo. It's probably a bunch of those places that could theoretically have, you know, they take up resources. So if you have a potato PC, you know, you can very quickly and easily, you know, shut off landmarks, and yeah, you don't get to see those things, but again, you know, you've got a potato PC, it's not really the game's issue, it's kind of the PC, you know, your issue with the PC, so it gives you the option to, you want to deselect a couple functions, you want to cut down on wildlife, you want to cut down on AI traffic, you can, you know. You know, even the option, for example, to decrease the physics, that is a thing, so potato PCs will work. I won't mention their name, but they used to always be like, oh, just, you know, we'll turn physics down to low, and then they complain that the build isn't working very well. It's because you turn the physics to low. As you've just said, that I want my physics to run not well, essentially. I want, you know, in order to make it work for my potato, I want the physics to take a dive so that everything else, you know, renders, essentially, without lag. So, vehicle damage is on. We have had no damage here. I know, knock wood now, as we come up to where the goats are. And the cows in the road. But, stop making it for the road, dickhead. Stop, 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 stop. There we go. And, you know, and so it's, you know, like, there was a couple times there where an update caused physics to get set to auto, and then the crane for Triton wouldn't work very well. I'm like, why is the crane acting funny? And it's like, it's usually that physics is set to low, you know. But this is mostly a temperature test. So you can see we have no problem with temp. So that's kind of my new method for pumping now post pressure is I use a small impeller to run the coolant loop for the cooling system. Works well. Well, you notice when it goes over a jump, it's nice and refined. It's nice and reserved because it has the fins are all pointed 100% down, and so they drag it right back to the ground like it would be in real life. You know, the stuff in game, you know, weighs as much as a paper airplane, so you know. The benefit of that is you can make some small, compact stuff that's really cool. That you can move, like I can push this car with my player character as you saw yesterday. So that's the upside of it. The downside of it is it blows around like a leaf. Well, you can fix that with fins. You know, you can use active aero where, for example, you know, we have 4 small fins that all push us down. So it's giving us huge amounts of downforce. And that's essentially adding weight to the car. So when we're going fast, it adds weight to the car. And it spoils lift. You know, so that's the benefit is, you know, there are a bunch of things that are different with the game, but the benefit is we have the tools to fix most of these problems. So, and it allows us to do different things. And it's like when people want huge, kind of like overreacting changes to the way physics works in game, you need to understand that we do have the tools to do most things. And the downside of it is if you, quote-unquote, fix some of these problems, you would make other things impossible, like blimps and you know, like little flying hovercraft and stuff like that, is those are all using some of these mechanics of the current physics we have. They're exploiting it to a certain extent to make those things work, you know, and by asking for big physics changes to make things more realistic, you make the unrealistic impossible. And so, you know, some of the community, well, you know, myself, I mostly play realistically. Some of the community really likes to make some cool, like, fantasy stuff, and I would hate to see that go away. Well, we can still, you know, right now we have a good balance where if you want to make something realistic, you can. If you want to make something fantastical, you can. And that's really cool. Gives you the freedom to do it. I'll catch up on chat. There's a bunch of chat there. Just trying not to chat and drive. As I'm trying to do a temp test as well. But like we're good. Like we're up to 87. We're in the arid biome. You know, this is pretty much the longest journey that I ever do is to go from FJ across to the other beginner base. You know, it's going across an entire continent. Like if you drove across the American Southwest, like you could go 300 miles before the next gas station. You know, you see a lot of cars that are broken down because they're overheating. It's not an unrealistic thing either to have something drive for hours and hours and overheat. And so we can drive across the entire continent and you know, not overheat. So perfectly works well. I think it has an overheat protection system on it too, so we'll just slow the car down. Oh shit. Where is that jump come out of? Jesus. Wow, what is that about? I forgot about that altogether. That's pretty harrowing. Okay. I think the relay was broken. That's why it stopped. Oh, okay, never mind. I thought I had a leak. I did not. That's a jump and a half, dude. See, I remember there was a road over there. See that road over there? How the hell do you get to that? So you gotta go, okay, you gotta go left. That's what I thought. I thought we were coming up to this next road, and it's over here. You gotta go left. All right. So I'll probably add another panel over here. Will be lights and stuff. We'll figure it out. This is a really fun vehicle. It's really pretty good on the road. It's could use a little bit of work on the water, but it's not bad. And it's operational, so we can go use it. Probably cost nothing. I have no sort of fuel readout, but that's not really necessary either. Just kind of... What I think I have 4 small tanks in there. This thing should have plenty of fuel for quite a ways. Where the hell do we go from here? Okay. We're going the wrong direction here. The hell? Okay. Nope, it's right. It's this one here. Okay, we're alright. It's this one up here. Getting lost here. Like we're up to 92 here, but again, as long as we're good by the time we get across the to the other base, we should be fine. And then overheat will protect us, and then you know, worst case, we have to sit and let it cool down for a couple minutes. You know, you have to kind of think of it. What's its job? You know, its job is to just pretty much go from the shore to the hospital. That's it. It's supposed to swim to the shore, go up on land, drive to the hospital, and come back. You know, so this is more than enough endurance. I would say this is still kind of a dangerous spot to be reading chat. I was getting ready to read chat. How's it going there, Citrus? Good to see you, Citrus. Dog chase cat jump to Alley Lane. No turn signals on this yet. Yeah, it needs the detailing pass on lights and stuff like that. I gotta get on that. This has a little bit of a jump here. Let's see how it takes it. Okay, really good because that's it. Well, it hit the rudder, I think, but the It has the fins, which will help too. It pulls it right back to the ground. Well, like, you know, so next time you see a complaint, somebody like, oh, the car's sucking stormworks. I've been going 88 the whole way. The only crash we had was due to my navigational problems. Had nothing to do with the game or the car. You know, and that's kind of the thing is, you need to always keep that in the back of your mind is when somebody says that, they're the one that built the car. You know, so or they took it off the workshop. But, you know, so they're telling themselves to a certain extent of that, you know, the car they made's not running very well. And, you know, so it just betrays that they don't necessarily know how to fix it, which isn't a big deal, but it's not really the game's issue. As you can see, that, you know, plenty of people make plenty of things that work well. All right, I need to fix a couple things here. So let's move up. Oh, I fell out of my seat. Let's move up. Okay. Let's go ahead and... So, I don't know, for the people who just arrived, I changed the seats. The seats are now on the sides here, and then I moved the hatchback so I can stand on this to get out, so it makes it much more reliable to get in and out. I literally just got this. Let me grab this vehicle. Why won't you let me grab the vehicle, you scumbag? Is it out of the zone? It might be out of the zone. The zone's actually over here. So, like, this is the benefit to everything being light in game is... You know, you'd have to go and, like, get a vehicle to move that every time. Where, you can manhandle it because of the light vehicles. May I ask a word question? Where the engine is in this vehicle? It's in the back. It's right here in the back, in the hump in the back. What did I need to change here? Paint. Right here. Okay, that paint needs to be changed. What else? Yeah, it's right here is the engine. So let's see. What was the other thing I wanted to fix here? What did I want to fix? Let's try some stuff here. So let's go to 0.7 on the steering. Let's go to road fin setting, pitch limiter. Okay. Let's go in here and change something. All right, so this one right here is that's the roll. Let's make that a 1, because that was under responsive, so let's do that. Update that. We'll play with those numbers. Do a little bit of a detail pass on this, so that they could go here. And then I've got a micro there. Could stick them right here. Okay. I'll end up swapping the right ones out anyway, but I think because it's kind of a cutesy build, I want a, I'm going to probably want them more rounded out. Yeah, so big round globes, I think. All right, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I believe these are... Yes. I believe these are 9 across. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. There we go. All right. There we go. I like that. All right. And then let's see. All right, brakes. Let's do this as the... Let's do this as the directional and that as the brake light, I think. Okay, and then we want to go... Go darker on this by 40s. Okay, and then we'll go additive on that. All right, there we go. Oh, come on. Paint balls. Okay, those are already at zeros. Let's go real dark on that. All right, there we go. This one's still bright as hell. Let's see what I can fix on that. It's a little bit brown. It's a little bit more muted. Okay, I'm liking that. Probably won't do any in the front. Maybe just do a side directional here or something if I'm gonna do it. What happened here? Okay, that's good. Let us see. Let us see. What do we want to do next? Yeah. Trying to think of what else I want for lighting and whatnots. Probably should have some sort of light. So, what's here? A micro. No, the panels are there. Okay, so actually I can put that back one. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think what we'll do is we'll leave that there. Why can't it fit there? Can. Just for some reason it's being a pain in the ass. Okay, so those will go right there. Those will be front lights. Hello, Erasmus. What's happening? It is a car and a boat, a coat. The latest coat from Precision Advanced Technologies. All right, so let's see. I should probably have a panel already for lighting that will save me some time. Let's see, what do we want for park break here? Put a lighting panel in here somewhere. Let's get that going. Plenty of spot for other panels. Let's see. I think what else I want. Park brake. I don't know what's running the park brake here. Let's go. For now. Okay, that's already doing it. Just labeled it for a change. That's good. Let's see. I'm gonna need spots. I need to put in some sort of system. So 1 and 2 off the seat likely for these lights here. So let's hook these up to electricity. And that will go off of the, where's the hot bus? Hot bus, where are you? Hot bus, right there. Hot bus. Hot bus, there we go. Hot bus those. Could get a fuel see, the fuel's not. I think the fuel's reading all right out of these tanks. It's just not out of the other ones. Let's make sure this has a temperature protection system in it. I'm pretty sure it does. Where is it? Overheat protection right there. Let's see. Let's find ourselves. Let's save this and find probably the big man car is lighting, and we'll start with that. Let's grab that. Now check all the lighting on this. All right, so let's see. Which was, what was hazards? Alright, let's check it. Cat's trying to hit the microphone. Right, yeah, where are we at here? This one right here, lights. This is a big panel too, so I'm trying not to take the whole panel because it's absolutely massive. That's the problem with having some of these complex systems is it takes up a lot of space microcontroller wise. So I might pair out some of the stuff we don't need. Let's see if we can fit this panel. It might not be able to do it. Park brakes. Headlights. Brakes. What? Oh, brake lights. Okay, I got you. Like, what are brakes? Brake lights. It says variable brakes on it too, so we can take those off, and then we'll that will trim the panel down. Oh, I need the variable brake reading. No, I still have the seats. So that'll work fine. So I can take those off. Or if I can find a home for it, I can leave them on. Let's see. I don't think I'll be able to find a home for one that big, so let's see. Yeah, it's gonna be tough to find a home for a panel that big, so let's see where I can get this sucker. Let's see where I can get this sucker. Let's trim it. Because I don't think I'll be able to find a home for something that big. Okay. So it's at a 2x3. The paneling here, I don't think I have a 2x3 now because of it. That's the panel there. I could do... Need 6. That is 5 right there. Can I cut anything out? I don't think I can. That would show and break the seal. Can't go there. That's occupied. That's occupied. I think most of this is occupied. That's all occupied. What's yeah, that can't go there. Let's see. Hurting on space for micros. Yeah. Let's see where, because I might be able to move this, but let's see, one, that's definitely not going to be big enough to do. Okay. That is problematic. Problematic to fit in there. What's the, yeah, I can't cut it in there. That's not big enough. That's where we run into problems here. So let's look at it and see what if I can pair anything else out. Could put one composite right and yank one, but I need to yank two. So we brake lights, left directional, right directional, headlights, hazard, panel seat. This is quite big. We need 6 nodes. I definitely don't have anything straight 6 I could run. Might actually be able to get it on this wall. I don't think so. Let's see. Yeah, it's definitely down here. So it'd have to be here. So yeah, you have no way in hell. No way in hell there. No way in hell that's going there. Some paint needs some paint here. Hurting on space here. I could cut this down to a 5 and then put on the, yeah, that's what I'll do. All right, this will work. Let's do this. So if we, shit, no, it won't. Crap. That's headlight tilt. I could take off brakes and move that. That's the one I could move is brakes. Brakes is the one I could move. So let's see what this, if I can put it on here. Key, variable brake, starter, panel. Alright, so I could try pulling off brakes on that and then moving. I've got the space to do that. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and take the brakes off. Brake lights. And then we're going to have to reorganize this. Okay. So that is right there. That's brakes. So we'll leave that in there and I'll move it. All right, headlights. And then left directional. And this one is right directional. Okay. All right, so that can go here. All right, and then let's see. So we'll grab all this. Brake lights. You know what? I want to go back to that. Let's go grab all that shit again. This should come off, and that's my anti-lock. That's anti-lock brakes, what I just had there. Alright, so let's put the anti-lock brakes back in here. I said I was going to do them later. Alright, so here's anti-lock brakes. Let's put anti-lock brakes in there. Alright, so that's ABS back in there. Good. And then this will go to the brake lights right there, and then this will be seat composite here. Alright, nice. Let's go give that a test. I have to keep hooking it up. I didn't hook everything up yet. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's pause you. Let's see. Let's save this real quick and go back to the hatchback. I can work on some of the stuff from there. And then I want this panel here. Let's fix the colors on this. Alright, so this one, the seat can go right to this panel here, and then this panel can go out to here. Alright, let's fix what I don't want on this panel. So this has park brake release is coming off, hazards can stay, headlights can stay, high beams can stay. And then what, let's see, park brake release there. What we'll do, put park brake. Yeah, so we can make this work. So that's park brake, indicator. And then what is it on the seat? It would be 5. Okay, so that should work. So that will show me the parking brake light. All right, let's go test these out. All right, so turn on the parking brake. I gotta get in the seat, huh? Alright, there's parking brakes on. So the light comes on. It's sharing the same channel. I'm not getting those lights there. Let's see. Big fucking bunch of nothing right now. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see why we're having issues here. These are all plumbed up again. Electricity, we should have electricity. Should be going the hot side. That goes to the hot side. We'll just go like this. Okay. So one should be this should be left directional. Right directional push. All right. That should go through to there. Let's check the channels. Make sure it balls up the channels. Should be 5. That one should be 8, 9, and 10. 8, 9, and 10. All right. Panel seat. 2 is... doesn't need to read that anymore. That can go. All right. So 1 is going to be left directional. That's correct. 2 is going to be right directional. 8 is hazards. 7 is... I forget what the hell 7 is. 7 we don't have anymore. 7 was park brake. Release. 9 is headlights. And then we have 10 is going to be high beams. So you should be running here, guy. Why are you not? Merged. Okay, composites. Check the composite. It's going to... Oh, that's why. This... What the fuck did I do there? I reached through the panel here and I grabbed this one and plugged it. That's what I did. Okay. That would be why. Alright. Just looked right behind it and grabbed the wrong node. Alright, that will do it. It looked right when I was looking behind the panel. But 5 for park brake. Park brake's on. Okay, park brake's off. Hazards. There are hazards. Okay, brake lights aren't working yet. Let's figure that out. Headlights. Okay, headlights are going. Let's put on some night so I can see. Alright, and then high beams. Look even lower? What the hell? I can't tell unless I look at the wall. Here, let's move it so I can look at the wall. That's how they actually do the tests IRL for inspection stickers. Up park brake on? What is going on here? See if the parking brake is dicked up. That's a good way to get the car to not move, is if the park brake came on. Brake false. Variable brakes, why are they up? What is the variable brakes doing here? Oh, I know why. Okay, shit, let's look at this. Variable brakes right there, okay. Okay, let's do this. Let's do that to simplify it. Okay, let's see what the hell's wrong with variable brakes now. Let's see, negative X. Okay, that's why. That's why, okay. Because I changed the way the ABS system works. Okay. I hate it when it sticks over like that. It's really annoying. Let's see. All right, so if that's less than 0, we get a blinker reset. If it's not less than 0, we get it off. Okay, variable breaks right there. Perfect. Okay. That's why. It was brakes working backwards because I put in the ABS system. Has the inversion already in it, so. Okay. So hazards. Left directional. Okay, it does need to be a toggle. I need to put the toggle back on. Brakes. Okay, good. So lights are working there. Let's go ahead and put on the headlights and test the high beams. Okay, high beams are working fine. It was just hard to tell inside. Perfect. And that's on. All right, good. So that's working. All right, nice. Let's see. Oh, that's working. All right, good. Need to change this to toggle and this one to toggle. Good. Need a dome light in here. So let's put the dimmer panel in. And then I'll put a heater in here too. Flip switch. Where's flip switch? There it is. Okay. All right, so that's dimmer, heater, all that good lighting. Crapola. Beautiful. And we need composite. Is all set up there. That's good. All right, good. So that's oh, I need to add the heater on here. So I need to make it one wider for the heater. Then we can do some Arctic business. All right, good. So this can go in. Right over here. All right, and then I need to find a space for heater. Battery's there. Let's see if I can find a better home for the battery. I think we're pretty good on balance, so let's do this. Let's cut you. Actually, you don't need to cut anything. That will go right there. Perfect. All right. Battery's inconsequential in weight, so that should be fine right there. All right, good. And then we'll put the heater right here. Electricity goes to the cold bus. And then that's going to get the heater node right off of this. Done. Okay, let's see. You, sir. I'm gonna end up running over this dog, and there'll be great sadness on all the land. How's it going there, Zachy? We'll do a recap in a second here. Let me catch up some more chat. How's it going there, Ufa? Good to see you. It's not easy being green there, Ufa. All right, let's see. What did we just put in? Light. All right. Haha. Doesn't work right off the bat. What the fuck? Why is that not working? That makes no frickin' sense. Color RGB data. Why? Do you have electricity? You do. You're on the hot bus. You merged. You merged. What the frike, man? What the frike, man? Going there, it is. This has power, right? Yep, that's powered. Why are you not friggin' out? Let's see. Did I cut a connection? I did. Right here. This is now... How did that get cut? Interesting. Who the hell cut that? That's interesting. Oh, when I cut that panel, that's when it lost connection. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. That makes sense. Okay, there we go. Alright. Fucking hell, what? Okay, it's the heater numbers wrong. That's why. Okay. That's dicking everything up. What are you? You are supposed to be 1, 2, 3. That's why. It was double button, so it was dicking it up. Thought I'd changed it. I did not. Changed the microcontroller. It didn't change it on the panel, and it was double numbered. That would be why it was dicked up. Okay, let's go ahead and... Yay, light. Dimmer. Yay, red light. Yay, heater. Yay, beautiful. All right, good. So that's helpful there. Okay, good. All right, so that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and save it. Read some chat. So now we have turn signals to make Citrus happy. We don't have front turn signals, though. Let me see. RGB spots would be cool. If I had RGB spots, I could, you know, I could make them so that they would change to, you know, flashing ambers, essentially, as dual-purpose directionals. But can't do that because they're not RGBs. No, thank you, big man. Yeah, I really, I'm drawn to it now. I'm happy with it. You know, that was kind of like my whole thing was it was going to be goofy because of the proportions. The proportions started off. I knew it was going to be goofy, and because I kind of knew it was going to be goofy, I said, you know what? Let's go full weird. You know, and sometimes that's the best method I find. Is it's like if you know it's going to be friggin' weird, or you know the proportions are going to be odd, just go weird because it's like it often works out nicely. You know. Like going shit symmetry, you know, it was the proportions are gonna make it look weird, so it can't look like a cool, like supposed to be a, you know, a really looker. It's gonna look goofy because of the proportions. So just go ahead and go full goofy, you know, make it look cutesy wootsy. But it looks cute. I think let's go like this across here and here. Yeah, let's do that. So this thing weighs 647, so it's pretty damn light. And the benefit of that is that I can move it very easily via hand, which is nice. You know, which especially seeing I have to muscle it inside of the inside. That's helpful. All right, good. Almost was thinking of trying to put a side door there. I can't do it because of microcontrollers now, but it's close. It's real close to me able to do it. You know, just for getting in and out, but we should be good. All right, so let's go ahead and save this. Finish up chat. But thanks, big man. Yeah, I'm happy with how it came out. I think it came out really good. Thanks, Rasmus. Yep, just finishing up the frog here. Let's see what the... I might want to put a little art on this. Let's see what... Let's look at something here. I want the actual foot of a frog, not the SU-25 frog foot. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if I have any space either to do this, but trying to get a little detail on there. Like, why do I not have any paint? It's because I did all my painting yesterday. For the thumbnail, usually I leave paint open. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. Like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, could put a paint blocks there and put it on, but I don't think so. Yeah, let's not. Yeah, there's no real need to do that, so I won't do it. Let's go ahead. That should be saved. We'll save one more time out of fear. Alright, good. Let's load up the actual save. Cat is being very lovey right now. He's bumping mics and everything else. Cat is food. He wants his nap. Keep reading chat here. How's it going, CG? Good to see you. Yeah, I think a lot of the amphib cars IRL are really pretty adorable, and this one came out pretty good, I think. All right, let's see. What do I want to do here? Let's check all our settings, make sure no clip is off, vehicle damage is on, infinite electricity is off. Okay. I don't have any vehicles out in the world, do I? Nay. Okay, good. Alright, what's our money sit? 266, so we're a little bit low on cash. Let's see Tethys real quick. What's that going to cost me to bring in? The problem is the fuel here. So I want to see what it's going to cost me. 218. So we get a little bit of cash overflow, which is good. What's our base fuel here? We only have 3143, which is pretty low. It's not like miserably low, but it's pretty low. What are you? You are a lighthouse on fire. This one's a pain to do. Because that one, I definitely need a helicopter to run that one. Should get that helicopter fixed up. Can I get to... The real question is, can I get... I should be able to do it, but I don't know for sure. Can I get to south on 3,100 liters in Tethys? Because what I'll do is I'll run a couple containers down there. You know what? Let's not do that because I don't have the autopilot. And without the autopilot, it's going to be a pain in the ass. Because I want to be able to set the autopilot and then go take a helicopter and go do something. So let's not do that. Let's... I know I said I was not going to do testing. Let's do this. Sorry, guys. I'm going to go grab a coffee, and I will bring the custom game back up. Let's work on the ultralight, because I want the ultralight fixed. I started working on it in the career game. It's better to work in the custom game. We'll get the ultralight up and running. That way I can easily go from base to base, small base to base. Let's do that. And then, you know, we'll move on from there. Let's see. I got a little... no, I got to go get coffee. So, yeah, so we're loaded in. I'll be right back. I'm just going to get coffee real quick. Alright, let me finish up chat here. Come off break. Bingo. Alright, let's see. I never expect anything to work on the first try. I generally expect it to absolutely fall on its face the first try. Alright, good, yes. Alright, so let's go work on this ultralight. I've really been kind of focusing on these smaller builds. One thing is they're faster to get done, theoretically. They're fast to get done, but also they really test your, like, for example, like this. If I, like, you see where the center of gravity is on this, right? If I add one weight block, because this thing's tiny, one weight block at kind of an extreme area, it's going to be a bitch to put up front, but let's take it back here. Like, one weight block, because of how small this is, has a huge effect. You know, and so, like, you really have to be particular with these small things. So, currently, what's the issue I'm having? So, I'll recap what I did too. Was for pressurization, I flipped the engine upside down because the air cooling no longer works properly. So I flipped the engine upside down, which had the benefit of giving me a really nice low-profile engine. It was too tall and cumbersome and ugly. Now it's much more compact. I like. It's got a radiator in here. So the main thing with the pressurization update is to run air cooling, we don't have enough water, so we need water tanks again in certain situations. This radiator here spawns 90 liters of water, so we don't need the water tank. The air ones, they don't spawn enough water, and water flow is still huge for cooling. And then also to pump the water through the cooling loop, I'm using an impeller now, which is really effective. The one thing we need to do is, so let's see what I put on for prop pitch. I think I put too much prop pitch on there. Let's go to 0.35. And then the other thing I did was the pitch here. I'm pitching the rotor. If we look at the rotor, this is the pitch. So positive is going up on it. So positive is pushing us up. And so if we look at that, I'm going off of the prop pitch right there off the flap controller. So essentially this is going to be tied in with the flaps. Before it had a constant prop pitch. I got rid of that. And so now what I'm doing is I come in to the, where are we at here? I come in, here are my flaps. And so when I put my flaps down, I'm doing 35% for prop pitch. So what I think I'm going to do is, let's change this up. Okay, and then we'll put a property number in here. Let's see, prop Mitch. All right, prop pitch multiplier. Currently it's 0.35. I'm gonna make it 0.25. So when I go to put the props in, it can go up to a maximum of 1. And then that was going up to 3.5. That's too much. And so what's going to happen is this is going to try to pick the nose up, so it's going to help. And this also overcomes some of the center of gravity problems, so center of thrust being above the center of gravity. So pretty basic physics on the airplane is this is your center of gravity. So your center of pitch is right at your center of gravity. So the plane is going to pitch around the center of gravity, right? So wherever it's heaviest is where it's going to pitch. So center of gravity's here. This is also where it's going to pivot to pitch, is right here. And so then you're using your elevators, of course, on your tail. So you have a nice long lever arm here. This is going to pitch you, and it's going to rotate. So this is your center of rotation is right here. Is at your center of gravity pretty much most of the time. And so what's going to happen here is the propeller, the center of thrust comes off the back of the propeller like this. So center of thrust is above center of gravity. It's going to rotate us from here down. So we want to use the pitch to counteract that. So that's how we can have like props that are not in line with center of gravity. Pretty simple. IRL, they just tip the engine up a little bit. That's it. They'll tilt the engine a little bit up, and that will fix it. So we're doing that. We're simulating that. So when the flaps come in, it's going to tip us up a little bit. So as we thrust up, and put the flaps in, it's going to counteract that nose down moment. So let's try that. All right, so you can see how close this is on weight and balance. Like I can literally go up here and stand up and sit it on its nose. So we're pretty close to where we are on need to be on center of gravity. So this is like one thing I see with a lot of new players. They put their landing gear too far back. You want the landing gear to be just after the center of gravity. And the reason is that's how you're going to be able to pitch your nose up. If your gear are too far back, let's say our gear were another like 3 feet back, a meter back, it would we'd never be able to rotate. And we need to rotate to get the angle of attack on the wing up higher. So all things that one must consider. Let's check all our settings again. If electricity off, vehicle damage, all that good. Let's shut it vehicle damage off in case I bang the prop. I want to still be able to try to continue. Alright, and we'll just quickly hit the brakes. So notice how, see how it's trying to push the nose down? Okay, that's because the center of thrust is above the center of gravity. So, yeah, enough, buddy. He's bringing me his toys, thanking me for treats. He's yelling at me. Alright, so that's going to go, and then as we put the props down, as we put the flaps down, it's going to start, you can just barely see it, it's bending the prop to do pitch. So we have a problem where it's still pushing the nose down too much. So I got to try to play with it here. Let's put the flaps down. Let's see what's up with the see what's up with the prop pitch. Because I want to make sure this the prop pitch should be positive on this. Let me check it. It's a pain to see the rotor. There it is. All right, pitch. Okay, so see, pitch is doing 0. That's our problem, is that should be, as I put the flaps in, that should be doing it. So I screwed up, probably, I didn't hook on the formula. That's what it was. Okay, so I didn't hook on the formula right here. I forgot I deleted this. So it's X times Z. Z. Okay, X times Z is going to be prop pitch. So that will fix that. Okay. So let's test that. That's why we're having problems. So that prop needs to aim up. So that's like tilting the engine up. So like now, let's go ahead and turn that on. Let's go 1. So as we put these down, if I go full flaps, that should have the prop pitching up 0.25. Because I was having issues, if you remember the live stream where I was running this, it just started doing a backflip, and it was because it was way too much prop pitch, so the engine was trying to flip us over backwards. So I had to cull it down a little bit. So there we go, 0.25. So probably a little bit more, maybe. The problem is I need more prop pitch and I need less flap, I think. Because I don't have enough elevator to get that nose up, and then once we get it up, it's too much. So I think the flaps could be too much. Let's see, let me fix it here in a second. I gotta get stabilized, and then I'm gonna start putting the flaps up. Also change the pitch on the general pitch in the propeller. I need to speed the flaps up just a hair. Alright. So now this one's close enough to the center of gravity. I don't have any correction in for the center of thrust, center of gravity issue. So like I need just a little bit of trim, but that's it. So that's pretty good. Alright, so let's bring it back. We're probably pretty close to where we need to be. Let me see. How's it going there, Zizo? Never worked out air cooling without a radiator. It does work. You just need, what you need is you need enough water flow. This is the problem with air-to-air cooler right now. So, let's go ahead and save this really quick. Ultralight. Alright, so this is the problem with the air-to-air cooler now. So this was the one I used to have on these. This is the issue, is since the update with the pressurization update, the airflow is great. The airflow is like 599 liters per second with just static airflow. The problem is this does not hold enough water in it. And so when you go to pump this through, you're not getting high enough flow rates. So here, let's do this real quick. Base. All right. Give me the block. Click on it 5 fucking times. There we go. The problem we were having now is there's not enough water that spawns in this. Which one are you? You are fluid out. You are fluid in. Okay. So the water in this is too small, essentially. I'll see if we even get a reasonable reading off of this. Just do a constant one. So it's not going to show without being hooked to the engine, but let's see if I can get it to spawn with water hooked to the engine. Let's see if we can get it to spawn with water hooked to the engine. The problem is this is not spawning with enough water when it's hooked to the engine. And so, like, I was getting like 3 liters per second if it's hooked straight to the engine. If I put a fluid tank in there, I'm getting like 22. If I put in the radiator, I'm getting like 100 something liters per second. So I'm getting much higher flow rates by just using the radiator. That's something I think the devs need to fix. They need to put an artificially high amount of water in here, frankly, to fix this. I don't know if I need a piston hooked on here, but we'll stick it on there for funsies. All right, let's try to see if it will spawn the water in now. All right, so notice the coolant. We're getting 5.9 liters per second. That's not enough. You need high flow rates in order to get effective cooling. So the air works fine. We're getting 599 liters per second of air when we do just moving through the air at like 60 knots. The problem is we're only getting 5.97 liters per second. So if we take the same setup, and this is where this is falling down presently. So like we take this radiator, this one spawns with like 90 liters of water in it. So this one has lots of water. So like that's what I had to change the ultralight. Like I'll show you the old ultralight. The old ultralight used to be air cooled, but it's just not effective enough because we do not have enough water in the system. So like this one here, is it plugged in? It should be still plugged in. So like if we look here, we're getting 5.97 liters per second, and over here we're getting, where was this one running? Why are you not running? Why is this one not running? Interesting. Like I can show you it's running on the other one. I don't know why the test isn't running though. Interesting. Why are we getting no coolant flow through here? Interesting, interesting, interesting. Why are you not cooling? This should be AB on this. Should be AB. Let's see. Yeah, it's AB. Why are you not running right? Interesting, interesting. That's interesting. Because, like, this one, if you look at it when you come up close... Fucking Jesus. Where the hell are we? There we are. If you look at this one up close, it spawns with 45 liters in it. So it's got 45 liters in it here. So this one was pushing. Let's bring the ultralight back in. Where's ultralight? Do this actually. So now with this system, so you see when we're revved up now, we're doing 123 liters per second. That's why I switched this over to radiators. Is we're getting 123 liters per second of fluid flow. With the other one, we were getting like 2 to 5. And then if I put a water tank in there, we're getting like 23. So, like, it's really not saving me much space at all if I have to start adding a ton of water to get the system to run at high pressure or high water rates. Who's spamming the chat here? Let's read all this. Yeah, but that's the issue. So, like, here, I'll bring up the old ultralight here. I'm going to put the despammer on in a second here. So, like, this is the old setup for the ultralight. So the ultralight used to be air-cooled, and it was air cooler here, running through a liquid tank and running through. If we run this system now, the old system, because this used to be the cool thing for, like, small vehicles, is you could run an air cooler, which was nice, because they're cheap and they're compact. But they start being less compact now. Alright. Fuck. God damn it. This is set up so that if I jump out of the seat, it stops the engine. Where are we at here? Makes my test a pain in the ass, though. Alright. So let's run this test here with the old system. So, like, if you look there, we're only doing 22 liters per second with the old air cooling system. So, and that's with a water tank. All right, that's 22 liters per second versus 123. And then if we take the water tank out, we're getting absolutely abysmal flow rates. And so, pretty much, unfortunately, the devs, because they've cut down the water rate or the way the water rate works now, that makes that pretty useless. So, like, if we look at it now, without a water tank, we're getting 2.9 liters per second. So the radiator is giving me 123 liters per second. This is giving me 2.9. With a water tank, it's still only giving me 22, and so you're destined to overheat because you're not moving enough water. So that's the problem currently with air cooling with that particular piece. All right, let's read some chat. So that's why you can't use air-to-air cooling on this build. So... Never been able to work out air cooling without a radiator. Is the center of rotation at the center of mass on ships as well? It should be. There's no need for the prop pitch. There is need for the prop pitch. You don't know what you're talking about. All right. Do you have a degree in aeronautical science there, Zizo? You're gonna get booted for spamming here in a second. What the fuck is this? Why are you doing this to the chat? Alright, no more spamming, please. You do know, Zizo, I have a degree in aeronautical science, right? Advantage of the air-to-air, liquid cooler in space, often radiators. Yeah, that used to be the benefit of the air-to-air cooler. Like, if you look at the original here, this was pretty compact. You could see how compact this was. Now, so like if you have to put a water tank in there, you know, it gets a little bit more. Now the problem is, like, this is still more compact than the radiator. Okay, the problem then becomes, if I want enough water in here to get enough water flow, so let's play with it for a second here. Cut that. Paste that. Alright, so let's try to get up to, like, similar flow rates on this sucker. You know, theoretically, I could try putting an impeller on there to get it, but I don't have enough water. I've impelled these before, and I don't have enough water. So I think the devs need to boost the level of water on that one part. They're all diesel. Fuck, I gotta fix them. Alright. Yeah, you're a student pilot. I was a flight instructor and a commercial airline pilot, so it's not, I think I'm a little bit more advanced there. Alright, seawater, freshwater, 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 freshwater all through. Okay, good. Spawn that bitch. Alright, so let's see where we're at now, flow rates. So now, see, we're still only up at 22 liters per second. So even adding an absolute shitload of water, we've only gone up like a little bit on liters per second. We're just not moving enough water with that air cooling, so it's not going to work anymore unless they really move that up, because you need to move the water. In the game, the more liters per second you can move, essentially the better it's going. So. Alright. I'm going to put on the anti-spam on the chat here. One message, then let some other people talk. You're going to get a warning. Let's see. Can I change that setting now or not? I understand the basics of aerodynamics. As I said, I have a degree in aeronautical science. I know how this stuff works there, dude. Probably better than you do. Alright, so please, stop spamming the chat with it. Aggravating. It's aggravating to see 28 messages that I have to catch up with from one person. Put one message in, let some other people have a chance. Alright, Alright, let's go ahead and try to remember what the fuck I was working on here. Alright, so pitch correction. So I'm thinking I'm over flapping it. Let's cut the flap down to 50% on this. Because part of it, too, is there's an irrelevancy on real-world stuff to a certain extent, because the game operates differently than the real world. Do that. Let's do, what do we want? Let's do, yeah, that's going to be too little, so let's do 0.5. I gotta index that RPS gauge. Alright, start putting some flap in. That's better. Now it's starting to be a little bit better there. Okay, so probably need more prop pitch, and the problem is the flaps. As the flaps go down, you're moving your center of lift further aft, which is exacerbating the issue of getting the nose up. So a little bit more, see, and that's why we'll do a backflip, is too much flap, essentially. So this is the bullshit talking about extra pitch is not really helpful. And again, this has been working there, dude, so I've had this working. I'm trying to re-engineer it. It's being rebalanced. There's a bunch of shit going on here. So. Alright, let's see. Check the original one. Let's save this one up and check the original. I want to see what the original numbers were on the original one. Okay, what are you going to? Let's see. That was front number. And then that's rear. Alright. 0.2 was the default number I had. Flaps, okay, so probably under-flapped again. So let's increase the flap on here. Go to 0.75. And then what's my collective on? Okay. Start putting some flap in. Alright, so that's too much. That's going to overstress the engine a little bit. Alright, so it looks like too much flap, too much pitch. Okay, let's cut those down, both of them. We need the extra lift. Where are we at here? I think way too much flap. Let's drop the flap again, and let's increase the multiplier. Let's do... I think that's going to be too much. It's going to be too much. Oh, let's try it. No, I understand. I'm just, it bugs me fuck, keep getting distracted. That's the main thing that's bugging me, is the distraction. Alright, let's just go do this. I keep forgetting to put the flap in first here because I'm getting distracted. So. Alright, why? That's too little. Okay, so we don't have enough correction right now. Don't have enough correction. That's why I meant to make it a 1 and I made it a 0.1. So it was a 10th off, or 10 times off, a factor of 10. Alright, so these are big ass flaps for this plane, so alright, so that's too much. You can see, like, I can't even get the nose down. So that's definitely too much. Alright, so let's start slowly decreasing this number and we'll get it to balance out. It's got to be, this plane weighs 377. It's very, very sensitive. So let's go 0.6. So I'm trying to get a middle position. So if 0.6 is not enough, we know it's between 0.6 and 1. Alright, there we go. So now the nose will come down. Fucking dog won't get out of the way. I thought I put that dog... Oh, I didn't save it after I moved the dog. Alright, so it's probably between 0.6 and 1. It's probably somewhere between 0.6 and 1, I'd say. Let's play with this. Could add some artificial lift in the nose, but I don't want to do that if I can avoid it. So let's see. The cheating way is just to hook my pitch directly to the prop. I don't want to do that. Trying to balance it out. The problem is this is lifting, so we get a lifting force off of here. So here, I'll show you the mechanics of it. All right, let's work the mechanics of it here. So the problems we're having here and why this is so friggin' touchy. It was balanced out on the other one. Let's see. So we've got... So the prop has given us an artificial lifting capability there. That is to essentially... So here, let's work through some stuff. So the center of thrust is here. Center of thrust is right aft of the propeller. Center of gravity is here. So ideally... Let me back that up. We'll put a layer on. So ideally, the center of thrust is there. The center of thrust should be here. So because the center of thrust cannot be here. It has to be up here. We need to angle the center of thrust. So it needs to be angled so that it goes like this. So by angling the center of thrust, we're accounting for that. And essentially what we want to do is we want to angle it out so that center of thrust is angled in a way that is essentially accounting for the center of thrust, center of gravity issue, them not being aligned. So that's the angle. So you're using prop pitch going up like this. So you're putting a upward force like this. Fuck off with that. There we go. Like this. You're going like this in the prop to tip it like that. So that's what's happening. IRL, they'd actually tilt the engine up. You see this on like Moonies, a bunch of different aircraft. They'll do the rear attachment bolts will be lower than the front attachment bolts to tilt the engine up a little bit to account for it. All right, and so that's what we're doing. The problem we have as well is the center of lift is right around here. So I keep forgetting to click. There we go. So the center of lift is like right here, right around the control surfaces. The problem is as we increase the flap, it's both moving aft and it's accentuating the center of lift. So, and I'm curious where it is. So what we need to do is we need essentially the addition of prop pitch to account for, so when the center of lift comes in from the flaps, we need to account for the increase in here so that ultimately the center of lift remains at the center of gravity. And that's the problem. And so, I'm trying to think what we could do. So we're doing a back flip because it's too much in front. So likely that is an issue with the... So let's put a bunch of weight a little bit farther forward. See if we can balance it out with CG. I'm thinking we might be able to get it with CG. Did I not show the display cap at all? No, whatever. Just moving arrows. Let's go ahead and let's throw a little weight on this and try to play with it. It is so light that any weight change is a huge problem. Okay. Let's read the chat. Sales would be nice, yep. Yeah, it'd be nice to use some of that stuff. How's it going there, Daniel? Okay. All right, so let's see. So one of the things we're doing here is let's move that CG forward. So if we look without weight blocks, it is there. The problem is it's going to move it further down. So let's go ahead and let's go up with the CG a little bit. And let's go forward. And let's play with it just a hair. All right, so that's moving the center of gravity both in line with center of thrust, and it's also moving it a little bit further forward because currently the problem we have is our center of lift is going too far forward. And so I'm trying to counteract it with a little bit of prop pitch, which would be engine angle IRL. The other thing we run into in game that's kind of not all that realistic is we get a ton of friction from the wheels. And then once the friction from the wheels is gone, it, you know, so you have to balance it for the friction of the wheels, which is not really realistic. Let's see. I need to spin that engine up a little bit faster. We're not going to get off the ground anyway. I wish I knew what my speed was right now. Let's see. Airspeed's too low here. Yeah, airspeed's too low. Let's play with this a little bit. I gotta unhamper the engine. Let's really unencumber the engine. Let's go to a 0.2 on the collective, which would be actual prop pitch. The conflation of the terms annoys me. Like, the prop pitch should be the pitch of the prop. And then collective is, you know, a helicopter thing, but we're using a helicopter rotor for planes. And so it kind of conflates the terms, and it's annoying. Alright. Gotta find the sweet spot with this. How are we looking here? Okay. I might have to unencumber this engine even more. Let's see. Let's go up, and then we'll try to figure out how to unencumber this engine. It is still supercharged, so... I'm trying to solve for like 10 problems at once, which ideally I'd be solving for one. But I can't really do one at a time. I can have to do a bunch of them. It's a 2-cylinder engine, so it's already pretty weak. There we go. All right. We're getting some speed here. The problem is this is supposed to be short takeoff, and it's not. So I have to kind of dick with that. All right, let's do something that I'd rather not do for now, but let's do it. Let's play with the flap a little bit. We did move the, ultimately we did move the, that. Let's go 7.5 in the flap. 60% of 7.5, that should be all right, I think. Problem is I got to worry about the actual pitch of the prop to collective. I need to worry about the correction for center of thrust, center of gravity. I need to worry about the flap and the movement of the center of lift. And I want to keep certain parameters with this plane. For example, I want it to be short takeoff, which... And I want it to stay a 2-cylinder. So... That was me hitting the parking brake off. Alright, so that is adding way too much prop pitch. Or, you know, pitch for the prop. That's adding way too much prop pitch. Okay. Alright, yep, way too much prop pitch. Good, so that's good to know. But the extra flap was helpful. So let's go in here and let's drop this multiplier. We'll do it by 0.1 at a time. And then we'll see if we can get it. It's got to be perfectly in balance. This is so small. It weighs almost nothing. It really needs to be perfectly in balance. I keep turning the friggin' parking brake on here. Let's see. Parking brake off. The problem is my starter's on 6 and my parking brake's on 5. Wow, look how... See how... fuck. Let's fix it again. It's very, very... It's so touchy. It's like... It's really within, like... points at this point. Alright, so see, by changing by 0.1, completely changed the dynamics of this. That's how touchy this friggin' thing is right now. Try to find RPM. 15, okay. So I'm just need to get up to speed. We're still too slow, okay. Alright, let's try to see if I can... I really don't want to increase the size of this engine. Let's do it just for... It's going to be a lot easier, and then if I can... I'll go back and I'll shrink the engine down. We'll make it a 3-cylinder. It's currently a 2-cylinder. That's kind of like what I enjoy to do, is make them as small as possible, but I'm lacking power right now. And so I've got like 28 problems and a B81, and that's problematic. That shifted our center of gravity aft a little bit, but we'll play with it. All right, so let's see if we can get some more power out of this. I've increased the power by 33%, so hopefully we can overcome some of the power issues we're having. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that helps. Okay, good, perfect. That's much more powerful now. Let's go ahead and decrease this to 0.25. Nice, nice. So we should be able to take off really short. So as much as I didn't want to increase the power of this, I think it's just going to have to be done. Wow, you see how touchy it is? That change to 0.25 was just on the hairy edge of where it needed to be. So touchy because this thing weighs like 377 mass. You know, this thing weighs like, what, 5 people? There we go. So we're real close to it now. But you can see how like a little bit of weight change, a little, like, I'm talking fractions on this thing. It's so touchy. It's so touchy. Okay, good. So that is helpful. So we need to, so we're, let's go up just a hair. Let's go up to 3 on that. We'll do another takeoff. We'll see if that is better. But I wanted to get this thing back to short field because that's the whole point of this. Is this is supposed to be like to go in from the little bases. So it can't take forever to take off. There we go. There we go. All right, beautiful. So that's getting better. So maybe cut the flap just a hair and increase the prop just a little bit. I'm thinking that's what we want to do here. So let's do increase this just a hair. So we'll do 3.5. And then flap this. Yeah, we have to do the multiplication on this. So let's go to 0.5. So do 0.75 times 0.35. 0.26. Oh no, what is it? Yeah, 0.75, 0.35 is 0.26. All right, so let's see. Let's see, 0.26 divided by 0.5 is 0.52. So this needs to change to 0.52. This one will change to 5. Because the problem we're getting here is the plane is stuck to the ground, and then it becomes unstuck, and then it wants to over pitch, and I have to account for that. And so what I'm trying to do is I think what's happening with the over pitch could be a flap issue, so I'm increasing the prop pitch just a hair and cutting down the flap, so we'll see. So see, it's not pushing the nose in the ground as much. There we go. Perfect. That's beautiful. That flies perfectly now. That's exactly what the issue was. So essentially, you know, we have to worry about 2 things. As the flaps come in, the flaps are changing where the center of lift is. The prop is accounting for the center of thrust, center of gravity imbalance. So because the propeller is higher than the center of gravity, it's causing the nose to pitch down. We want to then rotate and pitch up. And so we need to increase the pitch value on the propeller to counteract that nose down moment from the thrust being above the center of gravity. Then the problem we were having is there was too much flap. The flap was causing too much lifting force, so as soon as we got off the ground, it was trying to do a backflip. So it was trying to go up like this, and then it was going to stall us out. So now this fixes it. So beautiful. All right, let's bring this back. I stalled us real hard right there. All right, good. So let's try to get some of this weight block in there in a better spot. All right, so where's the CG? CG is just at the headrest, and it is, yeah, right at the headrest. So let's see if we can get it in the headrest. Okay. But that worked out well. So we're really close. Like I could probably get it even more precise, but so there's some weight block there. We're a little bit aft. Let's try it with this more aft CG. See how it behaves. If it works all right, we'll leave it. If it doesn't, see, we just need a little bit more forward CG on it. I don't mind it sitting on the tail in the ground, but it can't misbehave in the air. All right, there we go. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. That's the best yet. That's perfect. Little bit of an aft CG fixed it up right. Nice. Beautiful. That's actually really beautiful now. That flies beautifully. Let's put the flaps up. All right, good. What's our speed? 186 knots. Good. There we go. Beautiful. Let me see what the, let's index this gauge here. So 22.9. Okay. So we're gonna have to bring back the I could do a variable pitch propeller on this. I don't have the microcontroller space for a variable pitch propeller. So we can check the temp off this, or we can check the flow rates off this. So this is we're getting good flow rates, so hopefully we're pretty good on temp. Temp's not too bad. I think we'll be all right with this setup. We go even faster now. We can go up to 186 knots. That's good. Let's try to do a slow field landing here, or a short field landing rather. So, trying to find a place to land that's flat. Let me look behind me. There's no gyro on this, so I really have to fly it. I can't let it just kind of sit. I have to fly it. It has too much aileron, so it's kind of it lets me do some crazy maneuvers, but it also is it's very rolly. All right, there goes in the flap. So as the flap goes in, I need to account with some trim. Let's start slowing down. As we start to slow down, we have to retrim as well. Ideally, I would like, say, oh, I don't know, 70 knots at the fastest for landing. So let's try to come in on one of this nice flat area here. So 70 knots, I think, is about vertical in the needle. Let's see where it goes. Like 70 knots for a touchdown at the most. Because I got the Antonov 2 can go down to like 40. So about middle needle is, oh, that's perfect. Let's trim it up. Gorgeous. That's gorgeous. There's 75 right there. It's flying really well. So we need it slow enough that I can land off field, and I need to be able to take off field. So that's really going. Yeah, it does make a huge difference. It's no gearbox, none of that. It's got a 3-to-1 gear ratio. I could put a 9-to-1, but there's not enough power. So it needed the cylinder, unfortunately. You know, you're working with a balance here. The problem is this, is if you can't just gear it up, you're trading. So the problem becomes, as you increase the gear ratios, you are actively putting load in the engine, which is actively reducing the RPS, which is actively reducing the rotation speed. And so it's a balancing act. So by adding a third cylinder there, it made it so that I could get 33% more power and get it up to RPS. You know, it already has a 3-to-1 on there. I don't want to push the prop out anymore. That would be a 9-to-1. You know, most of my planes have a 9-to-1, but I'd have to push the propeller out more, which I'm not really thrilled with. You know, and the 2-cylinder engine cannot really effectively run a 9-to-1 effectively enough. So one of the things I do on this one is has a real low p-value, so the engine will stop when I stop, and that's because pretty much if this thing's running, it's so light. It's so light, see it moving? So I have it where if I pull it all the way back, it will stop the engine, because otherwise it's going to be pulling the whole time. And like if I set the brake and I even start it up, like see, it's trying to pull the whole time, so it's going to slide across the ground. So I could check the let me check the RPS. We're not too bad here. Let's see what I can get to. We could probably up it a hair. Try 5. Let's try 5. Okay. Let's work on that. But that finally, yeah, that's good. So these numbers are really good. Engine panel right here. I had to pass everything through because of how small this build is. It's really tiny. Like, this is all the microcontroller it has in it, are these 3 microcontrollers in this one node here, so. Alright, p-value of 0.12. Let's see what we have here. Let's go in here. Let's see, 5 to 30. It only goes up to 22.9, so let's do 24, and then let's go... Let's increase this p-value. Let's try a 0.2, and let's put a D in of like 150. See how that works. Trying to get this engine to run a little bit more precise. We'll fix this tipping with the wheels. I might be able to put a little weight block in the front as well. We'll see. All right, let's go ahead and... All right, that p-value is too high. Very precise in this p-value. It really does not like too high of a p-value. Let's do 0.15. It is very touchy, this p-value on this engine. Wait. Let's go back to 0.12. Alright, that's way too high of a D value then. Alright, let's go up a little bit. Let's go to 0.2, and then let's drop this D value to like 15. See what we can do. It does not like that. Alright, let's get rid of the D value altogether. It's just... does not like that D value right there. And then let's go back to 0.12 and run that again. Nope, nope, don't do that, please. Spawn it. The problem is the old one was running really well. The old one was running really well, but the issue I had with it was the was when I had to redo the engine for the cooling, it you know, changed a bunch of dynamics. So let's make this 8. Run 8. Let's run 24 should be fine. It's going to need a really small D value, like a 1 maybe. Ugh, that's low. It's very, very low. Let's see. Trying to just get it a little bit more precision out of it. All right. There we go. That's about running where I want it. Nice. So we still get a propeller moving on idle. Let's press the brakes, make sure it's not sliding with the brakes on. It is a little bit. It's not too bad. Okay, let's shut it. Let's go full flaps. We'll do an in-cockpit takeoff here. That D value is screwing us again. See it? See the D value? That D value is wicked, wicked precise there. Let's go a 1/10 off that D value. That D value is really low. There we go. Oh, shit, I hit the tail really hard. Let's see. Let's try not to over-rotate it too much. Let's see what I can do with some weight blocks here. Where are we looking at weight here? I want to go a little bit further forward. Let's add another weight block here. That's a weight block. You can't tell because the dots, it's the same color. That's why the wings are this color, is to hide any weight blocks I need. All right, forward and up just a hair on that. Okay. So just a little bit on that. There we go. See how precise that is? Adding those 2 weight blocks keeps it on its nose now. It's like this thing is so light, it's that level of precision to get this. Oh, you son of a bitch! Though I cut out the breaker. That's where the breaker is, right there. Shit. That's not good. That is really not good there. Let's see. Where can I put the breaker now? Breaker 1-9. That's a 4, isn't it? That's a 4-banger. Could put a breaker right. No, what is this? This anything? I don't think it is. I could put the breaker right here. Don't think that's any. I have so many like little microcontrollers and things hidden places. I gotta be careful. All right, breaker's going there. Let's see. No, let's undo that. I want it white. No, it's fine. Whatever color this was, it can be. Put the power breaker there. And then we'll go like that. All right, good. All right, let's get this electricity hooked back in. So this is going to go to there. That will go to Zabatru. That will go to there. What else do we need here? Lighting. Control surfaces can go there. That should be all through there. Yep. I have lighting hooked in. Lighting's hooked in. No, it isn't. Okay, lighting needs to be hooked in there. All right, so that should do. So now it's super close to being balanced. All right. So I need to be careful not to over-rotate this. You get up to speed first and then do a real gentle rotation. Because if I hit the tail, if I tail strike, it's going to be hard to recover. There we go. All right. All right, good. There we go. All right, good. That's not too bad. That's pretty good. There we go. Hands off. A little bit rolly, but can't do anything about that because I don't have space for a gyro. So, excellent. Fuel is just this one little tank there. That's enough fuel to go up to military base and back, pretty much. Go over a little flight. Uh, 397 is the weight. $10 Now it's like the problem is the friction on the tires. You know, theoretically, if I could get some more pitch on it, like if I could get it perfectly balanced, I could have it just take off, you know, in 0. But the issue is like it's got to be super duper precise because I need to get the speed up. I need to get the speed up quickly, and then I need to have it, you know, it's pitching the propeller, so the higher the revolutions on the propeller, the more the pitch gets accentuated. Everything has to be balanced, which becomes a problem that, you know, as I increase the revs, I'm increasing the pitch of the aircraft as well, so it becomes a big balancing act. There we go. So hands off. Just needs a tiny bit of trim here and there, like a real plane. That's too much. Like it is. It's a small plane, so any like small disruptions are accentuated. So like hands are off right now. So just a little bit of trim, just like you would in a real plane. A little bit more aileron trim. Like, even that's too much. A tenth is too much. But, like, there we go. Hands off again. So it's really flies well. You know, it's kind of like I talk about, beware of asking for things to be too realistic, because, like, if this was, you know, people ask for ultra realistic aerodynamics. If there was ultra realistic aerodynamics, you'd have to do this on every one of your planes to make it work right. The only reason this plane's such a pain in the ass is because it is so tiny. You know, it's so tiny that, you know, it weighs less than 400 mass. So any small change has a huge effect, where you can have a huge airplane that's very easy. You can make a ton of changes. Like, you can move a container, you know, 3 meters aft, and it doesn't do much in a huge plane. You move one weight block in this plane, it's huge. You know, so that's what a lot of people, like when I say beware of what you ask for, is like when people are asking for ultra realistic X, Y, and Z, it's like, do understand that that means you need ultra precise engineering, or else it's just not going to work, you know. Thank you there, Zizo. Alright, so now it's flying really well, but like you can see how, like, adding those 2 little weight blocks completely change whether it sits on its ass or not. You know, it's just so precise because this thing's so small. You know, like, it's like trying to make a small boat. You know, it's even more, you know, it's challenging than a big boat. A big boat, like, you know, you can have a container on one side of it and it's fine. You have a little boat, like, you put a person on one side, you know, walking around, it tip over. So it's like same thing with the plane, is just ultra precise. And that's why it took me forever to fix this thing. Was the old one, you know, it had to be completely rebuilt because of the cooling system. And so because this thing's so light, moving the engine just a little bit changes the center of gravity by so much that center of gravity changes, center of thrust needs to change. Center of thrust needs to change, center of lift needs to change with center of gravity as well. And then they all have to be balanced. So it's, you know, it's a lot of precision work. All right, so we'll fly to military. I think we can check our fuel status on these default tanks. The custom tanks are a different story. Same normal problem with the high wing is I can't see above me, and I'm trying to go under wind turbines here. But it flies really well now. It flies better than the old one flew. Like, I've got the throttle pulled back a little bit too. We're only doing 146 knots. Temperature is really good. We're up to 18. So I could increase that a little bit if I wanted to, but I don't want to worry about temperature problems. So I could increase the speed by uncapping the RPS a little bit, but we'll see how the temp is. If we consistently have no temperature problems, we'll be all right. The other thing is, increasing the RPS is just going to also increase the fuel burn. So, you know, I want to be able to take this places. Like, you know, there's a pretty good flight for one little tiny tank of fuel. So, you know, that's one reason I don't want to screw around too much with, you know, a bunch of the other dynamics of the engine. Is you have to worry about that fuel burn quite a bit. What will happen if you add, I'm trying to see, seats to it? No, I'm not going to add seats. This one is a very specific purpose. This one is for transporting me. I'll show you my other ultralight, which needs work too. I'm not going to do it now, but you know, sorry if I was being grouchy earlier. Zizo was just you know, trying to work through a problem and read the chat, and it's like, you know, sorry if I was being grouchy. But let's go ahead and we'll put it in here. So I'm going to start adding flap. So I'm going to add flap as I bring the power back. So that is doing two things. One, we're adding lift, so we're going to have to retrim. We're also cutting power, which is also decreasing lift. So by doing the two at the same time, we don't have to trim twice. I can trim pretty much once, you know, so I have to retrim. You know, and so every pitch power configuration change. There's no configuration change. Well, there is. There's flaps. But, you know, every flap change is configuration. You need to do a retrim every power. and every pitch change you need to do. Less in game. IRL you have to, because of angle attack issues, but you know, you have to retrim. So I kind of do those two at once to try to only have to retrim once. So we're probably about 80 knots right now. Trying to get this thing slower. There we go. So I chopped the power too much, and it stopped. So I might put an auto restart on this if it's going to do that, but let's go ahead and set the brake. So let's see. So it still needs some PID work here. Let's look at the fuel tank. So did we just run out of fuel right there? We must. No, these aren't reading correctly right now. I don't know. We could have run out of fuel. These aren't reading really correctly right now, so it's tough to tell. But that's like the job of this plane is to go from base to base, just me to kind of reposition instead of teleporting. It's kind of like a teleport preventer, essentially. Let's save this up before I forget to. So let's see, ultralight rework, we'll call it. All right, good. So now I'm happy with that. So like we'll go through some of the other ones. So like this was the original one. And so like it completely changed a lot of the dynamics because like you see where the center of gravity is back in the headrest. And so like this was what the engine looked like before. So it's much more compact now. I really like the look of the new one better. The other ultralight I have is this one. This one is a two-seater. So this one can go do missions and stuff. It's a pusher. So that's the other ultralight. This one is the one with the longer range. It has 2 fuel tanks. This one has 2 fuel tanks. It's going to need a rework on its cooling as well at some point, but that was kind of what I was looking to do. Thank you. Yeah. Good to see you, Jacob. Yep. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, like the smaller it is, it's like, for example, I've been working a lot on small builds lately, and it's more fun for me in a certain regard because like this stuff is super hard to get to balance because it's you know, it's small, so any little change again will make huge problems. Like this, you know, I built this little skiff here. Where the hell is it? I can find the sucker. Where is it? I gotta release this at some point. So like here's the micro skiff. So like this thing here is Adblock has been updated. Stop popping up messages, Adblock. This one here is this is kind of the same thing with the ultralight. Is, you know, because it's so small, any sort of tiny little change causes big issues. Let's do this. Let's make a little fuel jerry can. I meant to do this in another episode, and I didn't. Let's do a couple things here. Let's do tank. It's gonna be for diesel. We'll make one for diesel. So we'll use my diesel color. So let's do a jerry can. I don't know how much a medium weighs. How much does a medium weigh? See how much a medium weighs to start with. It's probably gonna be too heavy. There's 2 ones we can do. We actually, you know what we can do? Let's do this. Let's try a small jerry first. You know, we talked a couple episodes ago about having a jerry can to be able to, if we run out of fuel, you can just go do this. So, like, this is the simplest jerry can you can have is, essentially, you know, like this. The thing now with the pressurization update is we have, I'm trying to think, I could put the handle, let's do this. Actually, there was an episode of one of the career build series where I had to swim to shore and make a jerry can to actually get back to base. So like this is the simplest jerry can you can have pretty much. And so like here, let's do a test. So like if we took let's grab a medium. The problem is we're gonna probably have to vent it. Let's vent it. So we'll pretend it's kind of like it's a vehicle we're gonna fill. Actually, we'll cut it on. Let's put it on the side here. Let's do a gas relief on this side. Let's do. Nope, excuse me. Pardon me. So it's going to be our. This is going to be our vehicle on this side. And then we'll grab the hose. And then I want to do a portable pusher and a pumper, and so just some small little things that we can move around, kind of a little bit more interactable. See, the thing with the pressure update now is these tanks come pressurized at 26 atmospheres. So this tank is at 0.9 atmospheres. So this actually makes it really easy because this tank is going to want to push everything out to this tank. So like right now we have 13 and 13. 13 and 13 on that one, and this one has not for, where's the, yep, showing no liquids. And now this one should be pushing in. As you can see, it's pushing the whatever air is in there out. And now it's filling up with diesel. And then we can gravity feed. I have done this before. You got to just pick it up above, and it will gravity feed. You just got to wait. Let's read some chat. How's it going there, Alistair? How are you? Winner of one of the winners of the Build Challenge India. I'll at some point, Zizo, I'm going to open up the review channel again. So I do reviews sometimes. It's been closed down because of the pressure update. I had a couple left, so there were 2 left. There was one from Sergeant Cheesecake, and there was one from Citrus. So first, I'm going to reach out to them, see if they want theirs reviewed again, and then finish them up. And then what I'll do is open it up, and I come up with some new rules where it was, I think, community voting for who would do it, unless it's slow and there's not that many, and then I'll just do what there are. So at some point, I'll open that back up again. Kind of seeing what I have for time and availability to do that stuff. All right, let's check it. All right, good. So we're down to half a liter. So that's good. So, like, see if we... I don't think we can get that half liter out. Probably not. It's probably stuck in there. Let's see. Even shaking it? Nope. So that's pretty good. So that's a good way to, like, you can just do your jerry can like this. So that's one jerry can. So that's kind of cool. Let's grab this. Let's just delete this shit here and we'll save that. So that's a jerry can there. So let's save that. Jerry can 1. All right, then we want. So that's the benefit of these things being pressurized now, is we can even pressurize liquids. This is the thing that some people have been complaining about. Oh, it's so unrealistic the devs did pressurized liquids. Again, it's a game, and you need to gamify certain things. One, there are people who play this game who've never taken a physics course in their life, because they're, say, 8 years old or whatever. And you want to make it so that it's approachable for them so they can play it. And so one of the things with pressurizing liquids is because we can pressurize liquids, it gives us a little bit of flex in there, pun intended. And, for example, you could pressurize liquids in these cans and then spit it into another tank more easily. So let's say, did I save it? I did. Okay, so let's back it up a second. Let's see if we can pressurize this tank more. So let's spawn it. And so, let's get this jerry can, and let's see what our pressure's at. So our pressure's at 26, right? So let's see if we can go pressurize it more. So this is the benefit with, again, I think people need to stop thinking of stormworks as our world and think of it, it's its own world. And every game has to gamify things. So if we put this in here, let's see if we can get the pressure up. So notice we're getting more diesel in there because the pressure is going up to 60. All right. So we were able to put more diesel in this tank because in-game we can pressurize liquids. Now, of course, in real life we can't pressurize liquids, but in-game we can. And the benefit is I was able to cram more liquid in there. So some of the same people who will complain about that don't realize that some of their favorite functionalities would not work if they didn't have that function, you know. So like right now we can put more liquid in here, and because it's pressurized even higher, it should go in here even faster. You know, so look at so we're able to add more diesel to this because we were able to pressurize the liquid. You know, and so if you notice, you see how the diesel is going above, like, oh my God, the diesel's, it's spawning new diesel. It isn't. What's happening is the same thing with a gas. A lot of people were asking this question when the update first came out. They go, how is there, if the capacity is 100 liters, how is there 300 liters of air in there? It's because it's the capacity is 100 liters of air at 1 atmosphere. If you put 300 liters of air in there at, say, 3 atmospheres, it's occupying the same amount of space. It's the difference between volume, and so by compressing the gas, you're putting more gas in there in the same volume. You know, so they were misthinking of that a little bit. So the same thing's happening with liquids a little bit. Because we can compress liquids, you're able to cram more in there. Now, of course, that's not realistic. You blow the container out, but again, it's the gamified version. It has some benefits in game, and that's why I think they did it. You know. So now you can see, so we can hold even more in this tank if we pressurize the liquid. So not realistic, but it's cool. It is a nice function to have, you know. So let's grab a tank medium. Okay. I would really like a wheel pass. That would be beautiful. Okay, and then let's see. I gotta worry about center of gravity with this. Let's see if I can do it. Make kind of like a dolly. He might not want to tip it over because of the center of gravity problems. It depends on the way the character actually holds onto things. So we'll see if we can tip it over. Yeah, with it pressurized, we really don't need the pump, but kind of want to proof of concept this. Like this would be if you had to move it a little bit, like you had to go and put a little fuel in your vehicle, you could go ahead and take this and dolly it over. Okay. He doesn't like it, but it's working. He really doesn't like it. Alright, let's put it on top and see if he likes it better. Because I don't think it likes it at the angle it's at. It's also like when he tries to pick something up that's too heavy, it will do that stuttery business. So that's better. I can pull it a little bit more reliably now, I think. Can I push it? Not really. Can't really push it, but I can pull it, so. Let's add a little bit of size in the tires, see if that makes it a little bit less crazy for him. Put quarters on there, see if that works. He might be hitting the hubs too. Yeah, I think he was hitting the hubs. See, I can pull it a little bit more freely now. I think it was dragging the hubs. Yeah. Good. So that's kind of a cool little thing. We'll save that. I'll work on that later. But yeah, so that's a little bit of jerry can stuff. I just want to do that. A wheel what? A wheel pass, like putting more wheels in the game. Like, I would like some invisible hubs on them. I would like the ability to put like a caster wheel, so it would be like a motorcycle wheel. Think of it that way. It would have a strut on either side, wheel in the middle, kind of like a tail wheel on a tail dragger. You know, no power connection on the wheel, so do some more castery wheels. Like, you know, Thales' pack had a bunch of cool wheels in it. Zachy, if you run into a situation like that, just you can send it directly to me. You can send me your XML file. Just send me a message that, hey, Steam's not letting me upload this, and send me the XML file. You can do that if you need to. You know, when in doubt, just ask. You know, because for the most, you know, I want you to be able to get it put in. You know, so you know, if you have that issue, just you know, just ask. You know, because I can take an XML if you know, you can't get it on Steam. Okay. I think which one's the composite. All right. That's in out error. Okay, cut. Yeah, that's gonna clip. I can't take clippage. Cannot do clipping. Like, that's another option there. I kind of like that better. The nice thing with this is these leak. So this actually works a lot better, and I'll show you why. These leak, the impellers. I gotta attach it. So the impellers will leak. The fluid can go right through, and so the benefit of this is, otherwise, if I use the other pump, I can't fill it up. So, like, for example, I can take this, and because the impeller will leak, I can still push fluid into it, and then I can pump fluid one direction out. You know, I'll still try to push it back if I overpressure it, but for the most part, as long as I keep it under pressure, I can pump out. So, like, here, let's see. And then I can draw out, too, so. Aha, you sucked there in the way. Problem is, pull it instead of pushing, I can't see. So he jumps up there. I gotta like have him pull it. There we go. I like this sort of like tiny stuff, like dollies. Like the small builds, I think just are super fun to make. Like, so for example, this, because it has an impeller on it, now I can push it in. So we have 145 diesel at 30 atmospheres. So I'm going to push some in there. We can go to 60 atmospheres, and now you notice we're up to 180 and change. Probably end up around 185. And then, so now I pull that, and now I still can pump out, you know, with the torque crank, you know. Once this hooks up, the pressure will push it out anyway. So, like, you know, so you can see that quickly takes all the diesel out, no problem. And then if I want to help it along, yeah, because not all applications am I going to have a pump pulling it in. Like some of my airplanes, I'd have to crank to get the it in, so the pressure would help. But like you notice now we're down to 0.16 tank pressure, so likely you know, I need to pump it in order to get the fluid out. So I like this. I like this little dolly is good. Save that one as 2. All right, good. So let's go ahead and let's go back into the career game. I wanted the ultralight. That's why I came back out of the career game, was to get that ultralight going. Does that make sense, Rasmus? I think I said something like a wheel update or a wheel, I forget what I said. I forget the wording I used, but what I meant by it was that I'd like them to put some more wheels in the game. You know, innate dualies would be cool, because for dualies we have to do 5s. We have to do 3s and I think scale them up. I forget how I do them. I think it's 3s and scaled up to cover the hub, essentially. So, like, I would love the ability to stack tires. Would be nice. All right, so I'm trying to remember why I even got moving on the ultralight, and this was the whole reason why, was to be able to go and leave here and go over to a different base. Let's check around the bases. Let's see what I want to do here. We have very little diesel here. We have little diesel there, no jet. We have... Okay, so we need to move some fuel. So let's go down to FJ and we'll work on that. And I'll see you later, Zaki. I might have said wheel pass. That's probably what I said. Like a pass, a rework on wheels. Oh, I can't spawn it in here. Shit. I'm not gonna be able to spawn it in here. Let's see. Where do we want to go? Ultralight can't spawn in here. Let's go over to military base, and then and then we'll grab the ultralight. We'll head down to FJ. I'm trying not to teleport all over the town. I can't get the ultralight in the garage. It's too wide. Check the override there. Override time is off. Let that time go. Take the frog, why not? Very happy with the frog. Frog came out nice. Oh, do the headlights? Let me check the headlights. They should turn on the... Okay, they're not turning on running lights. I don't have running lights set up, so... I don't know if I have space to add running lights. Probably not. I could do, I don't know, brakes as blinks. RGB indicator lights would be another good add. Like, that's the kind of thing that, like, you see some of these updates, like, some of the people who will, you know, were saying, like, for example, oh, I didn't know anyone wanted pitchable propellers and stuff like that. It's like, some things may not occur to you that, you know, part of the community wants those things. You know, and it makes sense, you know. Not everybody plays the same thing. Like, some people have never touched an airplane, you know, and so, you know, the airplane community gets a big airplane update. They're going to be like, oh, I didn't know anyone wanted this, you know, which makes sense. They don't play with it. And so, you know, it's like little things, for example, like RGB indicator lights. For some people, they would never in a million years use it, but, like, I would love them for taillights and stuff because, like, currently it's a pain in the ass to do, like, you know, when you turn on your headlights, you get running lights. So it's dim red lights where your brake lights are. And then when you step on the brake, they go bright. You know, and so that would be great for that because you can do dimming on RGB, and so you could do 2 red lights. All of them could be running lights. the interiors could be brake lights when you're stepping on the brakes, and then the exteriors could turn into amber turn signals. And then when you go in reverse, you could have some of the pixels on the panel go white. You know, so it's like really cool stuff you could do if you had RGB indicators. Yeah, you can do them on panels. I do have them on panels. Like if you look at TTIS, I use RGB panels, because RGB indicators on panels for that very reason, so I can have dimmable brake lights, so they go running and then that. But like if this build, you know, they wouldn't look as good. So, but yes, I do use those on my trucks because the trucks tend to have those kind of like crappy looking lights anyway. But the frog's whole job is pretty much just to go. It's kind of like a little tender to go from, you know, from Tethys to the shore, and then be able to drive to the hospital. It does pretty well here. You know, it was tested with pretty high winds, so. You know, so we'll just let it head over to military, then we'll fly the ultralight. Probably over to FJ. I gotta watch the fuel, though. We're close on fuel there. We might have run out of fuel at the very end there. I have no filler. See, that's the problem. What I should do is add a filler on there. I didn't add a filler because I was afraid of it getting too tall. But I should add a filler. And then what I could do is what I just showed you guys is pressurize the tank. Put pressurized liquid in the tank and you can hold more. So, you know, you can just add it and pressurize up a little bit. So, yeah, it is very stable. It has a stability system on there. You know, it's got roll control, it's got altitude in the rear and pitch in the front. So it's got a standard boat system. It behaves nicely. You see how it like goes down the waves. That one it crashed through, but it was because it was already on the down tilt. I think if you look at it, it's see, it's correcting for pitch too quickly, so it probably needs a little bit lower p-value on the tilt. You see how it quickly goes down there? I think that's what it's doing. Or the stern is coming up too fast, one or the other. So, but it's not bad. It's just, you know, a little bit of nitpick there how it dives through that wave. It's after it encounters another wave, it goes for a little dive. So I think it's just overreacting a little bit. It came off another build, and I pretty much didn't touch the numbers, so. And the wind is coming from our right a little bit. That's why we're leaning a little bit. It's just the, you know, we're turning against the wind, so it's rolling a little bit. Well, it'd be a cool little build. So, you know, I'm trying to get all the little vehicles for Tethys kind of up and running. That way I can use it. That's why I was going to use Tethys yesterday, I think, to kind of go do something. Like, I have nothing to, like, run people off to the hospital. And then probably before we kind of use Tethys seriously in the build series and the live series is I want to get the navigation system in, because that allows me to, like, put it on autopilot and then go do a mission while it's going somewhere. So, like, if we were going to do... All right, that it does not have an anti-fly system, unfortunately. I shut the anti-fly system off. So I just trying to not have problems here. Shit. Gonna turtle if we're not careful. Okay, there we go. All right. All right, I gotta let it settle. All right, there we go. I had an anti-fly system on there. I took it off. And so that would have prevented that. That would have cut the power if it took flight. So I might put something like that back on, or hook it back in. It's in there. It just needs to be hooked back up. I didn't think I was going to need it, so I disabled it. Just pretty much like it, you know, it kills the thrust. Waves are getting strong now. Yeah, like I just lifted for a second there when it started to take flight again, and it fixes it. So that's all the anti-fly does. It gives it a little bit of a A little bit of a burp in the power, and it lets it resettle, so it doesn't do the backflip bullshit. You can do it a number of ways. Like, one thing you can do is if you can do it off tilt, so if it tilts too much, it will, you know, it will just interrupt it a little bit. It's definitely the bow tilt fins are overreacting. You can see it trying to like dive through stuff and maintain its tilt too much. So I should probably fix that a little bit. Wow, this is getting pretty wild out here. We are getting pretty deep, so. But luckily, it's waterproof. It's got enough air in the pipes that can go into water and still breathe for you know, at least a couple seconds. What did the weather go up to? 62%. Yeah, it's a little bit hairier than what I've tested it on. Come on, frog. Straighten up, fly right. This is getting rough out here. I was gonna take Rizzo. I'm like, the water's not that rough. I'll take frog, and the water ended up being rough as hell when I got out here. What the Christ? Oh, I regret it. I wish I took Rizzo. Would have been faster, and it would have been more stable. Wow, look at that big Johnny. I'm concerned about the ultralight and 60% wind. It's like I said, the thing doesn't weigh anything. You know, it weighs less than 400 mass. This weighs 600, I think. So, you know, it's not enough mass for it to really take much wind. Yeehaw, yeehaw there, guy. This was the wrong choice for this weather condition here. Wait, it'll roll us back over. It has that 50-50 weight distribution. You know, it's just barely below the center of gravity. If I could get the weight a little bit lower, it would right itself more quickly, but it needs the fins to right itself. Nice thing is it climbs pretty well, so I should be able to find a steep bank and head up it. And then because I'm going straight into the wind, it, you know, wants to blow that nose up a little bit, so wait till the propeller. Once the propeller gets in the water again, the fins will help turn it over, you can see. The fins want to right it, so it's, once the propeller has enough push that the fins can get control again, it rights itself. Kind of a good little way you can kind of fake the, I'm just going to kill the weather for now because it's just too much. Just become more of a nuisance than it's fun. I did check the weather forecast too before I left Soaring North. Yeah, ultralights are fun. You know, I think building some small stuff can be very challenging and fun. You know, it's yeah, they fill a little niche. You know, they can't do much, but you know, their whole purpose just being that, you know, you want them to be able to land anywhere. You want them to be able to land short, take off short, and you know, and be inexpensive. It's kind of their main claim to fame. Trying to say, I thought I saw a boat over there. See, I wonder if Rizzo's still there from the last episode. Remember I had all these issues last episode? Is that Rizzo sitting right there? I don't know. Let's go over there and see. You know what? Let's see if I didn't turn on map vehicles. I bet that's Rijou sitting right there. It is. Right there. Rijou sitting right there. So somebody was trying to get rid of the made by a person on Reddit. You know, I don't know. A little scummy to me. It's like, if it's not, you know, if you didn't build the build, you know, why would you want to get rid of the person's name on there? You know? Like, the person who built it, that's why their name's on it, you know? Yeah, that is Rijou sitting over there. Oh, remember Rijou flipped last time, so I have to go rescue it at some point. So keep that in mind. I'll go rescue it. Next time I get Tethies out, I'll go ahead and use Tethies to get it back. So what I want to do is get rid of the trim. Kind of want to beach this on my own initiative here and not let it go crazy. Alright, we're not going to hit the shore too hard. I don't want to break the bow. And we're up. Okay. Try not to knock trees over as I crash into one. Up. There's some... Here we are. We're over by aircraft parking. Up. Taking the bumps pretty well. And we called them. They gave us clearance to cross. I love this little frog, though. The frog is a perfect name for it. It really is. It's a happy little fellow. Yeah, well, game gets so washed out. Wish we had a contrast slider on there. Alright, there we go. I stalled it by putting parking brake on. Let's actually do this while we're here. There we go. Take one of those with me. Nice. I'm just going to nix the wind for now. Alright, and we'll head over to FJ. So let's do this first. So I want to pressurize the fuel tank to get a little bit extra fuel in there. So currently we have... I got to fix it to do that. So let's fix this fuel tank. Because I got rid of the capability to refuel it, so I want to put that back in. Really don't want to add it on top, though. That's kind of the issue. Trying to think if I can move exhaust. Let's move the exhaust. Like that. Alright, and then what we'll do is we will go... Mana. Okay. I could even add more fuel to this, but let's run one fuel tank, and I'll see how much we can pressurize this tank. Because we do have a bigger motor now. That's one of the reasons why it burned more fuel, is I added another cylinder to this. So. Okay, so let's see. This is... Let's save that. Hopefully we didn't shift the CG too much. Probably a little bit more than I'd like, so let me see. Can I get a little bit further forward? Probably not too much. Not really. I don't have a lot of space to be doing that. Let's see. What do we have in here? Let's see what this block is here. I don't want to drag it down, but we could drag it a little bit down. Because you see how sensitive it was before. Let's see what this block is here. Okay, nothing right there. So let's go ahead and what are you? Let's grab you real quick. Just a block, okay. What else is in here? Okay. So that drags it forward and yeah, you see how just a tiny bit forward and down just a little bit. I think that'll be all right. Save it and see if that works. All right. So not enough to get it to sit back where it belongs, but let's check the fuel on here. We're talking, so 4.8 liters. Wow, that's barely anything. Let's get that fixed. It's funny, some of these ultralights will sit on, like gliders will do it too. They'll sit on their tail if there's nobody in them. And then when you put somebody in them, this weight in the seat's enough to get them to drop down. Okay, let's grab this now. So it's 4.88, I think. See what it becomes now. There we go. So see, now we're up to 31. So it wasn't filling the tank fully. That's why we ran out of fuel when we got here. So this should have really good range now, if that was the issue. Because we're pressurized to 60 atmospheres now, so we should have plenty of fuel now. Good. Right. Forget where that is now. So leave a little positive pressure on the propeller. It will keep the nose down. We'll taxi out to runway 29. If I can remember the airport diagram, I'll bring up the airport diagram. I forget what the what it is. Let me see. Bring up the airport diagram. Ah, you sucker. Try to do something else and. We're going to runway 29 via Charlie. Charlie 2, hold short of runway 29. So that'll be our taxi instructions. Try to get back on Charlie here. Should have full flaps, and we do. Okay, good. I meant to fix that gauge. I didn't. Let's see. We have, let's turn on our nav lights. Landing lights are coming on. There we go. I still have not done strobes because I can't figure out how to get them in there space consciously. All right, we're cleared to take off on runway 29. Oh, come on, come on. Tab over the game. There you go. Ding dong. Alright, airspeed's alive. There we go. Doesn't squat at all now. It's really nice. Try not to hit the center lines. This is like Miami, Florida. They put this line. Beautiful. That works really well now. Whoa, nope. I'm trying to put the flaps up and push the pitch down at the same time. I was pressing the 2 and the W key at the same time, which was a mistake. Too much. So yeah, so that should fix all of our fuel problems because by pressurizing the tanks now, we're able to take quite a bit more fuel. So that is the benefit of the devs pressurizing liquids, is it allows us to punch a little bit of extra fuel in there, which, you know, part of the problem again was people were disappointed when they took that functionality away from oxygen and hydrogen. Well, they didn't take it away; they reduced it. It was ridiculous before. You could put insane amounts, like it would be like 30,000 pounds to fill a huge storage tank with hydrogen, and the devs made it a little bit more realistic. But people were kind of bummed that, you know, they couldn't hold as much fuel. You know, is it going there, Zippy? Handle in front of this, yeah, I could do that. There's not much space. This one has an angle block in the front, but the handles aren't great to pull with. You can see with the fuel dolly that it really doesn't like being pulled. Once it gets too heavy, you really can't pull very well with the handle. I find pushing tends to be better. All right, let's go full. I think we are full throttle now, so not a bad speed. We're doing 150 knots. Pretty good. Good way to get from base to base. I don't want to go ridiculous. We're only doing 18 RPM. We're going to have to start worrying about fuel burn and temperature if I overdo it, so it's probably better not to always, you know, it's better not to always try to just do everything as fast as humanly possible. It's, you know, everything costs something. There's a cost related with that. Cost being heat and fuel burn, you know. Oh, what's down there? Fishing boat in there? Is he gonna hit the shore, or what's he doing? We get an SV environment problem later. That's probably going to be him. It looks like he's turning. Let's see. I started working on the instrument approaches for FJ. So FJ's coming along. I got most of the work done for... Well, most of the background work. I had to do a lot of map editing. How long am I going to be live for? I don't know. We're starting to get towards the end here. I'm going to probably screw around and go check on fuel. Maybe drive the fuel truck back. Probably get off after that. We're already at 3 hours and 15 minutes. So. No, I don't like auto flaps. Nope. Not a big fan on automation. Not a big, especially with airplanes. Is you know, you don't want flaps to be automatic. You want to be doing it yourself. You know, and plus this thing is, there's no space for any of that microcontrols. This is like you saw, like this has barely any microcontrols in it for that reason, is to keep it compact and, you know, to keep minimal logic on this. Like this has no gyro on it. Like, right now my hands are off the keyboard. There is no gyro in this. This is just inherently stable. You know, if I start screwing with it, like if I start going overboard, it will become unstable pretty quick. But, like right now my hands are off the keyboard. It's inherently stable, no gyro. You know, you get the fundamentals built right, it will, you know, you'll get some inherent stability. But, no, I have no desire at all for auto flaps or anything like that. You know. Because, you know, when the flaps come in, you need to trim for a new configuration change, and then so I want to balance it with power change. You know, a lot of that automated stuff, you know, you take the pilot out of the equation, it's not good for the pilot. You know, the pilot starts to lose, one thing, they lose the ability to control it. The problem with, like, a lot of the automation is, you know, you get people who are now complacent. For example, let's say that, like, we had tons of, you know, automatic driving cars, and so you're going to get somebody who barely knows how to drive, who barely passed their driving test, and then for the next 10 years runs on the automatic, the car auto drives them. Well, they forget all the skills, and they lose those skills, and you lose them pretty quick. And then one day their car the auto system is down because, you know, of whatever reason, broken component or a bad software patch or something, and now you've got somebody who really has no business driving that car, who is not good at driving that car, driving on the roads, and it's going to be dangerous, you know. You know, there's a lot to adding flaps. Like, you want to be in control. You know, you're using flaps to add both lift and cause drag. You need to do a retrim. You know, I don't want any of that stuff automated. You know, this fetishization of automation is really kind of gross. I think. Like, I have no desire to automate most things. It's just, you know. Yeah, you take the professionalism out of something when it's automated. It's very rewarding for me to have a good landing because I landed it. If you have auto land on, you know, it's there's no reward. You know, the reward is you came in, you did a butter smooth landing because it was your skill that gave you the butter smooth landing. You come in and the plane auto lands. What did you do? You were just a passenger at that point. You know. And, you know, the funny thing, too, is a lot of this automation, like when people think, oh, we're going to have self-driving cars and self-flying airplanes, all these things, like right away, no. Is like, we used to fly, you know, I'd fly a $25 million airplane, and the autopilot would continually do silly shit, and you're like, what is it doing? And you would have to take over all the time because of the silliness it was doing. And so, you know, you always had to intervene because it was doing something silly. Because the autopilot has no clue what it's supposed to be doing. It doesn't know what's going on. You know, it's just following simple commands. You know, the pilot often has to take over. We used to always have to take over. Like, we had flight level change was horrific. We always had to manually input the vertical speed because the automated system flight level change was terrible. It would, like, jostle everybody around, it would overreact, it would buzz through your altitude, which we would get violated for that, you know, because the autopilot flew us too high or too low off the assigned altitude. You know, so as the pilots always had to take over, it would try to fly you through a course, and it would be very jagged, like it was too high of a p-value on approaches, you know, so, you know, the professionals need to be able to take over, so. That's why I really don't like a ton of automation, is it's just, you know, let the professionals retain their skills. And, you know, automation is best when it is a workload reduction tool. That's what it is it's a tool. It's not, you know, it shouldn't be doing itself. It should be a tool to help you, you know. Oh, butter. See, like, that was a rewarding landing because I did it myself. If the plane auto lands, you know, there's no reward to it, you know. And it's just very much like, why even bother, you know? Get a pick on that. I think that might come out to a reasonable pick. Where's the sun? There we go. Get a couple. There we go. Yeah, so this, now with the pressurized fuel tanks, I'm curious, we'll have to take a look and see where we're at with it. How am I cooling my engine? I have this radiator right above my head here, so I'm using an impeller off of the drive shaft, turning an impeller. And we got up to about, you know, probably 55. So let's check our fuel. Definitely the issue before was not pressurizing that little fuel tank. All right, good. So let's see where our fuel tank's at. Nice. So we used 10 liters out of 32 liters. So you know, this is back to the fuel economy it had before. I used to be able to go up, back, and I think up and back. So I think I could do 4. So that's probably, we used about a third of the fuel. So we could probably go up, we could probably go down, back, and down again. So we could probably do 3 of those legs on that little tank of fuel. So it's pretty good. So I'm content with that. Let's save it. It's flying really, really well, but you can see how like precise this little guy has to be. What do we want to drive over there? I want to go check on the fuel. Let's see. Patway's too slow. We're not taking that. Should take the hatchback. Mission required. Oh, yeah, we have no diesel at all. I put a little bit in. You know, I put in 22 liters, so that will get us there and back. Yeah, you see we barely have any fuel in us. See if we can get one of that with the mountains. The mountains look really cool. There we go. That's a picture and a half. Look at that, baby. I might have to make this picture in the future. That's a really cool spot, just with the mountains. Looks like a synthwave album cover. But yeah, it used to be air-cooled. The problem is I can't get enough water flow rate through an air manifold anymore. It's like between 2 liters to like 22 liters, where with that old school radiator I can get 133 liters per second through it. So it's just not enough water is getting in that air fluid heat exchanger here. This build was designed to be a race car, so it's a twitchy, so I can make it around this race circuit. But I should probably, I don't know, I kind of like it being a little twitchy like a race car. Oh, something's up with my trailers. My friggin' tractor flipped again. That's got to be when it spawns in that it's flipping. My tractor flipped again. Why did that flip? You know what I bet it is? I bet when the game, it reattaches it. That sucks. Alright, I gotta flip this sucker. Alright. Trying to get to the key switch to shut the noise off. Be quiet. How the hell did this happen? The game probably dropped it in and it freaked out and flipped. That's annoying. Alright, we'll fix this. Yeah, I'll fix this. Alright. You can stay running. I got hoses on me for days. Get out of there, you. Right. I'll shut that off. What do you got in there? You got 3,800 gallons on you. Alright, we gotta flip this sucker over here. Hit the thing. Hit the button. Hit the button, you dink. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. Okay, there we go. Alright, let's go ahead. I'm just gonna... Let's see. I'm not gonna save, but let's go ahead and do add-on editor. I think I had the crane here already. Where is the crane? Did I save it? Crane. That's it. Yep. Please don't spawn into something. It's over here. Okay. I could have put it closer, but I didn't. Alright. Let's load that up. Let's load up crane. Edit the objects. Just move it closer so I can not have to run around all day. hell is it now? There it is. Okay. Might as well go daylight on this one here. We'll go like that. This one needs infinite electric, I think, to run. Because it's not done. Put it on full day here. I want to be able to see what the hell I'm doing. There we go. Probably should have got a little closer, but I need to make space for it when I drag it off of there, so. Be pretty heavy with the liquid in there, I think. Now what is my... Okay, they're on here, so this is the... Second time I've had to screw around with this. We're off here. We gotta drive forward a little bit here. Okay. Let's get those stabilizers attached, and then we'll try to get it off of here. It is heavy at the moment. Got a lot of fuel in there. Okay. That's what I was afraid of. All right, good. Why is that one not coming up? New oil spill. Did I just create an oil spill? Something? I did. How did I tip that over? Create an oil spill? Oh, you son of a bitch. Don't spill oil. Yeah, I know the location's marked on my map, and it will haunt me for days. Alright. Oh, it's the buffalo. I was like, what is that noise? The bison. Okay. I gotta straighten out the tractor. I'm not gonna get this to work, so I gotta get that down. It's funny. I can hear the bison. This is a mess. This is heavy too, with all that oil in it. Now trying to leak all over town. Alright, let's, this is gonna suck, but we're gonna do it. I'm gonna disconnect the fifth wheel. We're going to pull the tractor out, and then we'll go ahead and we will reconnect the train once I get the tractor pulled out of here. That's going to be the better way to tip this over, is deal with the tractor first. Oh, it's the, I got the light cord. In real life, those light cords snap like it's nothing. Snap many light cord in my day. Friggin' this light cord is made out of adamantium. Yeah, IRL, the light cords just, they break constantly. Constantly in the shop for a new light cord. Okay. There we go. Alright. That was easy to fix the tractor, so let's focus on the tractor. Let's see if we can get this rotated. Probably, I don't know, we might be able to get a rotator from here. We'll see. Maybe. I can't see behind me, so I'm also angled, which isn't helpful. I don't know why these supports aren't behaving themselves. There we go. That's what they're supposed to do, is they're supposed to go up. There we go. Alright, let's go get this, the lead tipped. Can't see with myself rotate. I can't rotate while I'm driving, so. Not supposed to have the crane rotate while I'm driving, but I'm not going to put it back. Alright, so we want to go around center of gravity here. And let's switch. I'm going to get this low. I got to go forward just a little bit here. Shit. All right. Gotta get closer. Alright, there we go. Alright, there we go. Let's get it off its knees. Trailer's currently on its knees, so let's take it off its knees. I like a little crane work. That's if you ever drop a fully loaded trailer on its knees like this, you need a crane to get... usually you use a tow truck, but you have a tow truck with a crane come and put it back on its... Put it back right. Alright, we're out of fuel. Let's see, which one's jet fuel, which one's diesel? Which one are you, guy? I think this one's jet fuel in the back. Let's do this. What happened to my hose? I had a hose somewhere. I lose it? Did it fall through? Must have fallen through. Okay, good. I'm gonna fill this sucker back up. It ran out of fuel, so... Alright, it's a nice little fixer-oni here. You would not want to walk on there, really. That'd be ugly. So, I'm glad I built this crane. I've been wanting a crane for a while. Oh my god, has it become useful. How many times I need this friggin' crane. It's nuts. It really is. So, like, if you run into an emergency, you don't have to panic. Just put in something with an add-on. Like, you know, that crane's not ready for showtime, but, like... If you don't want to have to go somewhere and then go get your crane and do all this, you can do it with an add-on, and it just makes it easy. Like, you know, because like you can RP it as like you wouldn't be generally bringing your own crane. You'd go call a service to come fix your ass, and so like that's you can kind of RP it as that. I think there's plenty of fuel. That should be plenty of fuel for us here. Let's go ahead and get that sorted. Alright, let's hook up to this friggin' train. It's gonna be a bitch to back up these dualies, but we'll do it. So I ran out of fuel because this I left this idling to be able to... I left this running idle to be able to... what's going on? Why am I not moving? Maybe it got damaged. Let me check. Do I have a repair torch? I don't think I do on here. Let's see. Something get damaged. It looks like something is damaged. Let me check the wheels. Oh, you know what it is? Air pressure. That's it. I think it's just air pressure. Nope, air pressure's good. Okay. What is going on here? Why does it not want to move? I'm trying to see if there's damage somewhere. Huh. That's interesting. Got air pressure. Interesting why this isn't moving. You see the wheels are moving. Something's misbehaving. Could be damaged. Because the interior wheels are moving, the exterior wheels are not, so I'm curious why. Brake false, brake... okay, we got variable brake is on. What the frick is that all about? Those, yeah, the outside brakes are on. That's weird. That shouldn't be the case. I don't know what's up with that. Let's just do this. That is weird to me. I don't know what the story is with that. So let's grab you. Could have got damaged. Oh, shit. The game just crashed. Okay. Game crashed. So probably end on that. Interesting. Yeah, something was going on there. I just could have too much going on there. The game freaked out. But, yeah, that happens. All right. All right, so I think we'll end it there. So that was a fun episode. Got a bunch done. Got Frog worked on. Ultralight is now in service. I'll have to go dick around with that vehicle again. But most of it was end up just working on vehicles, which was good. I'll go ahead and we'll thank the members. But one of the rare crashes I have, so that was... I don't get them that often, so wasn't really all that unanticipated either. I was doing a bunch of weird stuff, so handle it pretty reasonably for all the crap I was doing. Something's up with that. That road train is pretty complex, and when it spawns in, it likes to misbehave. So I'm not sure what's up with that, because that's the second time I've had to pick it up off of that. So it's doing some funky. I think what's happening is it's spawning in the game. When you get close, it's despawn it, then spawn it back in, and then it is it's probably dancing. So I might add a keep active block on that, see if that will fix it. So thank you to the members: Side Mountain, Connor Boyle, Danny, Sergeant Chaos, Aaron Pearsall, Rasmus Johnson, Manda VR, Citrus, Anton Anderson. Again, congratulations to all the winners of the Build Challenge India. If you have yet to vote on your favorite for that, go ahead to the Discord and vote for that. Thank you to Chicken Soar for being a patron. Any of the new people here today, if you have not subscribed, please consider subscribe. If you guys would like the video, and especially watch the Build Challenge video, that one takes a lot of time. That's the only one I do ask you guys. If you'd watch it, leave it running, do whatever you can, like, comment on that video. That one is about 12 hours of work, so I appreciate that. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.